we speak. But as I tell you right now, don't forget to get to winnersbet.com.au because we'd love to see you sign up. We are a Melbourne bookmaker. We've only been open 2 months, and of course, with the TAB, you'll get best of all the totes on betting on winnersbet.com.au. Just trying to find this price for you, boys. Stay with me just a little sec.
That's okay, Adrian. We're really excited for you. WinnersBet, Australia's newest bookmaker, winnersbet.com.au. How's that market looking, Adrian? You've got it there?
$1.72. Apologies, boys. $1.72 the Saints. The line -3.5. They're $1.82, and the Blues are $2.16. And a couple of the boys in the office are very keen at the price for the Blues at the $2.16. At the line, +3.5 is $1.98.
Adrian, mate, we were looking forward to catching up with you throughout the season. We're really excited for you and the whole team at WinnersBet. Great to have you involved, and we'll look forward to speaking to you again soon.
Boys, just a quick race tip. Nature Strip has avoided the Newmarket on Saturday in Melbourne, gone to Sydney, and we put him up at $1.50, and the boys in the office are keen to get him beaten. So it's still juicy odds at the $1.50 at WinnersBet, but we think Nature Strip can be beaten. Great to talk to you. Sorry about the little blue there, boys. Talk soon.
No need to apologise at all. Adrian Johnston, Australia's newest 100% Australian-owned and operated. How good is that? 100% Australian-owned and operated bookmaker, winnersbet.com.au. Go and check them out. And we'll speak to Adrian, of course, very soon again. Back on the other side of this, time on as we count down to the Blues and the Saints at Marvel Stadium.
Good evening. Got a breakdown on the Ring Road Greens around before the Hume Freeway, seeing a lane close and delays all the way back to the Tullamarine Freeway. In Dandenong, Clough Street remains closed between Lonsdale Street and Robinson Street. And in Moonee Ponds, there's a crash on Maribyrnong Road near the river, seeing heavy delays in both directions. Mobile Madness is on now at JB Hi-Fi with crazy deals on the hottest phones, like a ridiculous 30% off Samsung Galaxy S20 phones and stacks more, only at JB. That's the latest SEN Sky traffic.
Start your weekend off with a laugh. Off the bench with Hutchie and Pickers every Saturday morning from 9 on 11:16 SEN.
With holidays on the way, helping you stay safe on the roads this Easter is Tyre Power's #1 mission. Buy 3, get 1 free on selected Toyo passenger and SUV tyres. The NBL Cup. All GA tickets now only $10 each. Get tickets now via Ticketek.
Victoria, every test we take
helps us protect everything we've achieved
and keeps us safe.
Every test helps us feel sure about that sniffle.
Keep catching up with mates. Go to work safely.
And keep doing the things we love.
So even if your symptoms are mild
or you've been tested before,
every test helps.
For testing locations, visit coronavirus.vic.gov.au.
Authorised by the Victorian Government, Melbourne.
This game is a game of physical domination.
Imagine you're in a diabolical arena.
Unbelievable!
Running like your life depends on it. Yeah, you'd run fast too if you were being chased by a superhero. This is Ultimate Tag. They are ordinary Aussies.
Oh, how quick is he?
And the longer they last, the further they'll go.
Did you see that?
Could you outrun a superhero? Ultimate Tag starts Sunday at 7 on 7.
Group 1 racing is back and Betfair wants you to win. Yep, you heard right. The Betfair Hub is packed full of tips and tools to help you sharpen your edge this autumn. There's a weekly form guide, race previews and pro punter insights. And of course, Betfair's better odds. All this combined means Betfair is offering you better opportunities to win. Betting on racing this autumn? Bet with Betfair. Visit betfair.com.au. Always gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-858-858.
Lap it up when the greatest racing carnival comes to town for the Carlton and District Community Bank Charlton Pacing Cup, March 14. Be part of Charlton's biggest ever punting challenge on a day with something for everyone. Marquees are available and selling fast, so book now. Don't miss all the action at the Group 3 Charlton Pacing Cup, March 14. For details, visit thetrots.com.au. With something for everyone, lap it up at the Trots Country Cups Carnival.
This Sunday night in Ballarat, it's the West versus West in the A-League as Western United takes on the Western Sydney Wanderers. After their first win at Mars Stadium, can they make it 2 in a row? Kick-off at 6:10pm. Don't miss it. Get your tickets at Ticketek now.
Want to win free coffee for an entire year? That's a lot of lattes. Just order a McCafe coffee on the My Macca's app for your chance to win. There are 25 winners every day. But hurry, limited time only. Ends 23/03/21. Visit mcdonalds.com.au/coffeecomp for full terms.
Hi, bank.
Yeah, hi. Why are you charging me fees when Athena Home Loans don't charge any fees at all?
No fees? That's ridiculous. Surely they charge application fees.
No.
Monthly or ongoing fees.
No.
Exit fees.
No.
Asking questions fees.
No.
Chocky-bicky fees.
No.
Indoor plant fees.
No.
Pens on strings fees.
No.
Long lunch fees.
No, no fees at all.
Just doesn't add up.
Actually, it really does.
Switch at athena.com.au and enjoy a home loan with no fees, so you can pay off your home loan faster. Athena, love us and leave us. Standard credit criteria, terms, conditions and government charges apply.
On SEN, your home of sport. It's time on.
Welcome back to Marvel Stadium, counting down for the first game of the men's pre-season between the Blues and the Saints. Sam Hargraves, Nick Del Santo with you, and we are going to work our way through the news of the day. Give us a call if you're a Saints fan, 1300 736 736. Blues fans as well. This is the time of year for expectations, high hopes, blue sky thinking. We want to hear what you're excited about, who you're looking forward to seeing in action, new recruits, new draftees, players who you think are going to take the next step. We want to hear it and a whole lot more. 1300 736 is the number, 0433 98 11 16 on the temper text as well. Nicky Dale, let's start working through some news of the day. Nathan Buckley has spoken very candidly and openly about what his future might hold out of contract at the end of the year. And for many people, the Buckley contract situation is already probably the biggest story of the year going into the season and just what may happen. Of course, there'll be a new president at Collingwood. They've got a new GM of football. It seems like it's a new era. Will Buckley be part of that, or will they go in a completely new direction? He spoke about his future.
Our performances this year, no doubt, are going to have a say on what is best for the club going forward. I don't feel like I don't feel like I have to be the senior coach going forward. If that's the best thing for the club, and I feel that I can still impact and help the club move towards contending consistently and winning flags, well then I'll put my hand up. And if the club felt that it was better to go in another direction, well then I would understand that. So that conversation will be held in good faith, and it's not something that we'll be addressing until later in the year. I mean, the club has to come first.
It's is that the answer that you're expecting from Nathan Buckley? Because it was only a matter of time before he was asked that question.
Yeah.
He'll be asked that question probably in every press conference
for
the rest of the year until there's a decision one way or the other.
I'll start at the end where he said this will be a conversation had in good faith later on in the year, expecting that no one's going to follow up for the next 6 months, that everyone will just give him a little bit of space and privacy. No, I do agree with that part, that this will be on the agenda for the whole year, and in my opinion, rightly so. It's been an interesting, to say the least, off-season for multiple reasons, but you even go back to the trade period and everything that happened there, and then clearly the investigation or the internal review with everything that's happened at that footy club in the last couple of decades. But historically, what he said about what is best for the club is common terminology in football clubs, and particularly in people in positions like he is. Football players don't often say that. If it's the best thing for the football club, I'll leave. That's not right. But people in positions of power, like Bucks is, say those things. Now, do they honestly mean it? No, because I think deep down you clearly love your job and you're passionate about your football club. So, of course, you want to be there. There's no doubt about that. I think we need to just give it some space in regards to see how the year plays out. And I think that's all that we can measure them on, is actually their outcome. And this is a win-loss industry, and there's few like that in the world. But professional football, professional sport, is how you perform. I don't know how the Pies are going to go this year. For me, they might be the only team that drop out of the 8 because of what they've had, didn't quite get there, the way that they finished last year. I just don't know. So I think we need to at least give the Pies, and therefore Bucks as well, an opportunity to see what they're like this year.
Are you convinced that it only comes down to win-losses in the Buckley contract situation? Not as.
I hope we've got some audio, but I don't know. I haven't heard that whole press conference. I'm surprised that that's the first time he's spoken after what's happened in the last couple of weeks. And I'm not the first to say it. I've heard the commentary around this for a couple of weeks. And it was my first reaction when Eddie got up and did that press conference, which was ultimately, his second last press conference. Where was Bucks? Where was the leadership group? Where was previous coaches and everybody that has been there? And I haven't had a chance to speak about it, so I'll just say this one bit, and I don't want to harp on it. Eddie Maguire, in my opinion, would have been one of the last people to know about what was being said in change rooms. Presidents don't come into change rooms. They might be in the rooms post the game, but they're not in the change rooms Monday to Friday. They're not there every day of the pre-season. Now, will that information eventually flow through? Possibly. But in my experiences, there was a lot of other people that could have commented on what was actually happening behind the scenes, and I say that as in not in the public eye for the last couple of decades, and I haven't heard a great deal from them.
We can talk more about that throughout the course of the evening. 1300 736 736 0433 98 11 16. It does shape as probably the most intriguing and fascinating, especially from a coaching point of view, situation for the year, the Nathan Buckley contract. And will it be renewed? Will it be extended? Or do the winds of change that are sweeping through Collingwood take everybody with them? One of their greatest ever included. That's all to play out. We're talking about the excitement, the anticipation in the air as the pre-season starts for the AFL competition. Dave's in Mernda, wants to talk about the Saints. G'day, Dave.
Yeah, g'day, boys. Good to be back here listening to footy live on SEN. I just wanted to just say it's exactly 365 days since I've actually watched the match down in Morwell. Community Series, JLT, and St Kilda had a win against Collingwood. So let's hope they can have a big win against Carlton tonight. But I think it's just great to have, with Melbourne Storm practice match on today also, I think it's just great to have the precinct, Melbourne, just a bit of a buzz again. Not the same as what it used to be, but that buzz in Melbourne's, quite exciting again just to be a part of.
Good on you, Dave. What are you expecting, just quickly, what are you expecting from the Saints tonight? And then a flow-on question for the rest of the year. What are your expectations?
Look, my expectations, I think they'll have a comfortable win tonight. I think, The talk is if Carlton don't win, everyone's going to go back to the Robert Walls conversation. And they're going to say, look, St Kilda have got a few people out, injured, this and that. But I think with the list that they've got now coming forward, other than that elite that you were talking about earlier, I think we really need to prove ourselves again this year. So I think it would be exciting to see the likes of Hunter in the ruck, McKernan also swapping in there today as well, just to see if that's also going to work, synchronising with Paddy Ryder and Marshall throughout the year. And also it's going to be great to see another Frawley down at Saints also. I think there's a bit of competition there just for himself and Carlo. I think there's big decisions to be made at the end of the year there on one of those contracts also.
Thank you very much, Dave. Nicely done. Tony's in East Bentley who wants to talk up the Saints. Take it away, Tony.
G'day, Sam and Nick. I've got my eye on Tom Highmore, who we recruited from Adelaide last year at pick 45, and I believe James Gallagher's network selected him at, he's 23 years of age now. If he can settle down and, say, make a regular spot round 4 or 5 onwards, which would allow Hunter Clark to go into the midfield and boost it again, I just want to know if this chap's got it or not.
That's a great question, Tony. We're looking forward to finding out tonight. He missed out on 3 drafts. He's born in Tuggeranong. He came through the Neefle and then went to the Sandful Dell. They reckon he's a Wilkie clone, and he models his game on a couple of defenders, but the one that stood out for me was Nick Haynes, who he's spoken about, 193 centimetres and looking to slot into that third tall position.
He's a good size. I actually saw, by coincidence, his first training session at RSCA Park going back a few weeks ago, and they instantly said the feedback was, he's good to go, and don't know a great deal about him. Haven't seen him obviously play any senior footy, but if you're anything like those 2 guys that he's tried to model his game on, then they might just have something out of nowhere again.
Thank you very much, Tony. Dave as well. Get involved, 1300 736 736. You might not be a Blues fan or a Saints fan, but you're probably a discerning footy fan. So what have you got in store, or what do you believe is in store for both these sides as we head into the pre-season competition, the AAMI Cup, the Blues and the Saints? Off the text, 0433 98 11 16. I'm a Blues fan, but enjoyed that interview with Brendan Lade. I feel as though we, the supporters, are very fortunate with how accessible football department people are and how, in the main, authentic. That's from Guy. Elite went to Port, and I believe that's about Tom Highmore. And it wouldn't be a season if we didn't get something back the other way. Stop talking trash, Del Santo.
Yeah, that was about Collingwood.
That's
it's
what
already
footy's
started. I'm warmed
all
up.
about. We will take the good, the bad, and everything in between. 1300 736 736 0433 98 11 16. More of the news of the day on the other side of this. Sam Edmund broke the story about Willie Rioli today. We'll recap that on the other side of this. Time on from Marvel Stadium.
Good evening. Delays on the Ring Road Greens are abound from the Tulla Freeway through to the Hume Freeway after a breakdown. Also got a breakdown on the Westgate Freeway outbound just before Kingsway. That's in the right-hand emergency lane and speeds are reduced. In Dandenong, Clough Street remains closed after a serious collision between Lonsdale Street and Robinson Street. Unlock Labor Day fun at Gumbaya World, Victoria's home of cool action, loud laughs and wild adventure. Book online now at gumbaya.com.au. That's the latest SEN Sky traffic.
The Winners with Andrew Bensley. Get all the tips and analysis you need every week. Live Saturday morning from 9 on 1593 SEN Track.
Before you get entrenched in the footy season, book the car in for fresh Toyo tyres. Buy 3, get 1 free. Get the power of expert advice at Tyre Power. Australia's newest 100% Australian-owned and operated bookmaker. winnersbet.com.au. Gamble responsibly.
Bet Deluxe, the new home for online punting. Check out our $100 and $50 money-back offers on racing and sport for you, the punter, every day of the week. Visit betdeluxe.com.au. Serious betting for serious punters. Gamble responsibly.
Red Energy is giving away 2 million Qantas points. For a chance to win one of 4 weekly prizes of 250,000 Qantas points, simply switch your household energy to a Qantas Red Saver plan. The sooner you switch, the more chances you have to win. Plus, go in the final draw of 1 million Qantas points. Call 131806 or switch online today. Eligibility criteria and T&Cs apply. See redenergy.com.au/win for full details and Qantas Red Plan fact sheets. Competition ends 11:59pm, 28th of March 2021.
Race in and get trackside at the Shannon's Motorsport Australia Championships from March 13 at Phillip Island. Showcasing some of the best Australian championships and series, including Super G Bordeaux TCR Australia Series and the thunderous roar from the VHT S5000 Australian Drivers Championship. Don't miss round 1 of the Shannon's Motorsport Australia Championships. Make sure you're there in pole position March 13 to 14, Phillip Island. Get your tickets online now via Eventbrite.
Hello, it's Malcolm Blight, your first-person self-congratulator, 3-time champion, here to give up some me time for John Allen Better Home Living. The New Year clearance continues with up to 50% off ex-display and demo cooking appliances, up to 20% off TVs and 15% off Webbers. John Allen's got the best deals on the top brands and any online price on stocked items, they'll beat it. John Allen Better Home Living, Noxo Zone, Burwood Highway 1 Turner, johnallen.com.au.
Humans have been farming since we became, well, human. From grains to sheep, farming's come a long way. Farm World's back in 2021 at Lardner Park, showcasing the latest farming technology, equipment and more. Chat with experts, get up close to animals, discover Farm World's fittest farmer and enjoy the Telstra Women in Ag Lunch. Farm World at Lardner Park, Friday to Sunday, March 26 to March 28. Due to their COVID-safe contact tracing requirements, tickets are only at lardnerpark.com.au.
Want to win free coffee for an entire year? That's a lot of lattes. Just order a McCafe coffee on the My Macca's app for your chance to win. There are 25 winners every day. But hurry, limited time only. Ends 23/03/21. Visit mcdonalds.com.au/coffeecomp for full terms.
Hop into Coles for 25% off Easter confectionery. From Cadbury Dairy Milk eggs to Lindt mini eggs and even Lindt bunnies. 25% off Easter confectionery at Coles. Value the Australian way. Offer ends Tuesday while stocks last. Exclusions apply.
Dream Street are giving you the chance to win dream seats to your favourite sporting events every month. All you need to do to enter is head to iCanWin.com.au and tell us all about your sporting dreams. All thanks to Dream Street. Must be 18 or older to enter.
On SEN, your home of sport. It's time on.
Sam Hargraves, Nick Del Santo, Marvel Stadium, Blues, Saints, after 7 o'clock. We'll go through the Willie Rioli story. Sam Edmund broke the latest update on that today on SEN. Before we do that, though, Sarah has called us on 1300 736 736 from Australia is the location I have. Hello to you, Sarah.
Hi, boys. How you going?
Really well, thanks.
Excellent. I'm a big Saints fan, so thanks for your years at Moorabbin, Dal. I'm just interested in your thoughts on Jack Bytel. I rate him. I know he had some injuries in his draft year, which really pushed him out of that top 10 contention, but I don't know, I think physically he's looking pretty good, and I feel he could complement our midfield really nicely and potentially even push forward.
Great question, Sarah. As I just look at Jack Bytel walking down into the rooms with the number 23 on the back, I think that's a really good summary of where he has been at. He had that severe back injury when he got drafted. The Saints were well aware of that. Basically put him in cotton wool for 12 months knowing that they needed to get his body right. Had an opportunity last year. I really like him. Now, I like him from a distance, as you do, Sarah, but everything you hear about him internally is he is extremely good, that he has some really good natural ability with the potential to take his game to a high level. Now, I don't know whether that means all-Australian sort of calibre, but they are really bullish on what he could be. And we spoke to Brendan Lade before about the midfield depth, and I think if you've got a handful of young guys coming through like Bytel is, the future is promising in regards to having a collective group of young guys coming through that could be exceptional in the midfield.
Sarah, what did you like about him in the 3 games that you saw?
Yeah, I just like physically he seems to have developed pretty well into, a solid sort of player that doesn't look like he's making up the numbers. I agree that, he has a lot of potential, and I feel secure going forward as if, we want to make ourselves into a good side, which hopefully we will. We'll have, really solid players like if Jack Bytel, Hunter Clarks, etc., who, really good players individually, but will slot in, and play a really good team game. So I'm looking forward to seeing Bytel and the others run around tonight.
The best analysis we've heard this season on AFL Nation. Sarah, thank you very much. That is the standard for you, Nick Del Santo, to match and hopefully exceed, but good luck with that.
I'd like to question. I reckon Sarah knows this guy. She knows far too much about Jack Bytel.
No, because
you know what? That's like a burner account.
She talk about individual output and slotting into a team system. She's
a sibling. She must be a sibling.
No, that's as astute as it gets. Thank you very much, Sarah. 1300 736 736. Sam Edmund broke the story, the latest update on Willie Rioli today. If you missed it, this is the latest.
Breaking news you refer to, Willie Rioli. We've been waiting and waiting. Finally, his drug nightmare is over, Dwayne. Rioli will return to West Coast and the AFL this year after a decision has finally been made on his future. So this afternoon, he will be formally handed a 2-year suspension for that adverse analytical finding that he provided for a urine substitution way back on August 20, 2019. The ban is backdated, and it comes as an enormous relief, you'd imagine, for Rioli, who was facing a maximum 4-year ban for tampering with that urine sample. Now, the key piece of this is, though, Dwayne, that Asada has the right to appeal, but I'm told that will not be happening. So Willie Rioli free to return to the game and actually permitted to return to Eagles training as early as the middle of the year.
The AFL released a statement which is available on their website confirming the 2-year period of ineligibility of Willie Rioli for the West Coast Eagles, and all relevant appeal rights have now been expired. So the 2-year suspension begins from the date of the initial sample collection and expires on August 20th of this year. Sam also spoke about when Willie Rioli was allowed to return to training.
No, that's my understanding, Dwayne. He can't train or play anywhere official until the middle of the year. So late last year, December, he was finally able to have his case heard, wasn't he, by that AFL Anti-Doping Tribunal. His father, Willie Rioli, at the time said that his son had received a fair hearing. He's been represented by David Grace, QC, who obviously acted on behalf of, I think, 32 of the 34 Essendon players in that supplements saga. And look, the delay in this case has been the subject of widespread criticism, but finally this afternoon, Dwayne, will get a formal decision handed down, and that is that Willie Rioli will serve a 2-year suspension in its entirety, and that puts him back to play, eligibility to be picked, of course, depending on other things, around August of this year. But as I say, he can return to training in the middle of the season.
That official date, according to the AFL statement about Willie Rioli today, is the 20th of June. Sam also updated us on Willie Rioli's contract.
contracted until the end of 2022. So that's some good security for him. So, yeah, I mean, all bets are off, of course, when he gets back to the club and whether he can play or whether they pick him or who knows what's going to happen from there. But, gee whiz, it's a life-changing event for Willie Rioli here. He obviously has been through the ringer. He went back up to the top end, of course, and some real soul-searching there. But he'll be mightily relieved today, Dwayne.
So that was the latest, Sam Edmund, breaking the latest today on Dwayne's World on SEN. And your initial impressions, Dal, I don't know if you're like the rest of us, but I just thought about bloody time.
Yeah. I mean, there's mixed emotions within this. So the first part is every player is educated on how to give a sample at training or post a game. So initially it was his fault. 2 years seems about right, unfortunately, for not giving going through the correct procedure. I actually had an extended family member that had a similar situation who got 2 years as well. Provided a sample, couldn't provide the B sample, left the site and therefore was penalised 2 years. She's an athlete, or does athletics, so was penalised 2 years. So a very similar situation. Does it really need to take 2 years to get the result?
No, of course it doesn't.
I know there's a lot going on in the world, but if that's your one responsibility is to find an outcome, I would have thought it could have come a little bit earlier. He's back at the end of June, is my understanding. Is that what the
training
is?
20th of June.
Okay, so they bring in basically a new player after 2 years.
The fact that it takes that long is just an out-and-out
It is crazy.
disgrace. Take away whether you innocence, guilt, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
The arrogance to just keep people's lives on hold.
So what do you do if he was? What does he do if he was found innocent? And I know this is a non-story now because it has been ruled, but Asada now has the opportunity to come back, or WADA has the opportunity to come back and question it or appeal it. But if he's found innocent, what does he do with the last 2 years?
Oh, that's exactly right.
That's not right. That's not right.
right.
In a career, being professional sport that can be extremely short.
If your organisation doesn't have the capabilities to go through the investigation and the findings and the hearing, maybe just hand it over to someone who can.
Could have sorted it out in a week. Did you give a urine sample, Willie? No, I didn't. I went around the edges. I skirted, or whatever it may be, the terminology. Okay, then you get 2 years. There you go. That's our starting point.
Yeah.
Can't be that hard.
No, and so light at the end of the tunnel now for Willie Rioli there. 0433 98 11 16. Teams are in. Oh, Del, by the way,
yeah,
Sarah's just text.
Yeah, Sarah's just texted in, who we spoke to earlier, who was sensational, and she says, I can confirm that I'm not a sibling or a friend, Nick. I'm just a diehard Sainter.
Brilliant.
Apologies. I owe Sarah an apology. I can do that for her tonight, and I hope she has a fantastic night watching her Saints, watching her Jack Bytel, and they have a great year.
Absolutely. Teams are in, obviously, tomorrow night, Collingwood and Richmond here at Marvel Stadium for the AAMI Community Clash. And the big story is Jeremy Howe, who hasn't played a senior game since June of last year, the long-term knee injury. He will get a second pracky match in the Magpies lineup. So that is very good news for them. They've picked their first round draftee, Oliver Henry. Also, Trent Bianco. Jordan DeGoey comes into the side. Brodie Mychek misses with calf tightness as well. Richmond will be without Tom Lynch, who's nursing a sore toe. Dion Prestia is out with a hamstring, but should be fit for round one. The Tigers have also selected Callum Coleman-Jones, who is suspended for the first 4 games of this season because of the COVID-19 breach last year.
Yep.
Riley Collier-Dawkins, Will Martin will also play. And Derek Egmalesi-Smith, who is the train-on player after being delisted, he is in the 26-man squad as well, Nicky Dell.
Yeah, okay. So there's a bit going on. I touched on this off the very top, Sammy, that all teams are in different positions. I don't see either team tonight, being the Saints or the Blues, have the luxury to try and really use this as a practice match to try and warm up for a fortnight's time. They've got to come out swinging. This is a full dress rehearsal for them tonight. The Tigers, on the other hand, probably have a little bit more credit in the bank, that you think, okay, if they don't roll out their best team or they don't put their best performance, you haven't quite put a line through them just yet.
Dave in Richmond, stay right there. He's got a question about the Saints. Where are the Blues fans tonight? 1300 736 736. Are you just keeping your powder dry? Do you not want to put voice to your expectations, your excitement this year? We'd love to hear from you. It's been an all Saints affair at the moment, but Blue Baggers, where are you? How are you feeling? What are you excited about? What are your expectations? 1300 736 736. Back with more time on. From Marble Stadium, Sam Hargraves, Nick Dal Santo, AAMI Community Series, Carlton and St Kilda tonight on SEN.
The 2021 AAMI Community Series on AFL Nation.
Quick fire, a goal by Elliott, and he might have got it. He has, against the grain.
Collingwood get the one they desperately needed. Friday night from 6, it's Collingwood taking on Richmond.
Tom Lynch, a leader up forward from 30 metres out. Toddy Shangle, beautifully kicked, straight through the middle.
AFL Nation for McDonald's. Smooth barista-made coffee from McCafe.
Need to get tested for coronavirus but worried about missing work? Help is available. A $450 payment will be provided for workers who miss out on wages because they need to stay home. If you test positive or are a close contact of someone who does, a further $1,500 is available. For more information, visit dhhs.vic.gov.au/support payments. Stay safe, stay open. Authorised by the Victorian Government, Melbourne.
Top Sport is bringing you something that's better than the best and better than the rest. It's best of the best multis. Your top odds are guaranteed. Just place a best of the best multi across any Saturday Metro meeting to score yourself the top fluck or top dividend from the 3 national totes on each leg. How's that for top dollar? Download the app today and bet your way. Visit topsport.com.au. Top Sport. Feel the excitement.
Best of the best not available WA races. Gamble responsibly.
Hello, I'm Roy Sanderson from RJ Sanderson and Associates. Is 2021 a time to consider appointing a new tax agent for you or your business? Take the stress out of tax and contact rjsanderson.com.au.
Red Energy is giving away 2 million Qantas points. For a chance to win one of 4 weekly prizes of 250,000 Qantas points, simply switch your household energy to a Qantas Red Saver plan. The sooner you switch, the more chances you have to win. Plus, go in the final draw of 1 million Qantas points. Call 131806 or switch online today. Eligibility criteria and T&Cs apply. See redenergy.com.au/win for full details and Qantas Red Plan fact sheets. Competition ends 11:59pm, 28th of March 2021.
Get your drinks sorted in time for the footy with Dan Murphy's Delivery.
Hi, Gary Lyon here for Dan Murphy's. I can't wait for Nathan Fyfe this season to play more footy forward and kick 50 goals plus and win another Brownlow medal.
Fyfe whizzes around, opens up the goal front, snaps it through.
Fyfe turning around the corner, doing what Brownlow medalists do.
Get drinks delivered to your door in under 2 hours via the Dan Murphy's app. Download the Dan Murphy's app today. T's and C's apply. Drink responsibly.
At Coles, enjoy great value with new Coles Plus online subscription offer. Get double Flybuys points, free unlimited deliveries for orders over $100 and more for just $19 a month. Sign up today and get the first month free. Coles, value the Australian way.
The 2021 AFL Record Pre-Season Edition is out now. Your must-have guide to a big season ahead. The Records fantasy experts, the traders, present all the options and tips on how to play AFL fantasy. There's profiles on every player, all important team lists and Guernsey numbers. Senior writer Ashley Brown brings you all the off-season news and in-depth look at the 2020 NAB AFL Draft. The AFL Record Pre-Season Edition. On sale now. Just $9.95 in newsagents, Coles and Coles Express, Woolworths and 7-Eleven.
Dwayne's World with Dwayne Russell.
I think there is that opportunity to, in the long-term future of the AFL, maybe 20 years down the track, to envisage a second-tier competition where there is some promotion relegation and add some interest to those late-season games where teams are down the bottom of the ladder and they're not playing for anything. That would eliminate the dead rubber process.
Dwayne's World with Dwayne Russell.
Join me tomorrow with Adelaide Crows Chairman John Olsen and the wash-up from Carlton St Kilda.
On SEN, your home of sport. Time on.
Doing it live from Marble Stadium tonight, the first game of the AAMI Community Series, Carlton and St Kilda, 1300 736 736. Dave's in Richmond. Sam Hargraves, Nick Del Santo with you. You got a question about the Saints, Dave?
I do. I'm actually a big second fan of the Saints behind my beloved Tigers. I work with an anaesthetist who's just so passionate about it. He says St Kilda's on the up this year. Now, I'm wondering, what do you think they have to do to get near the likes of my team? And my feeling is with St Kilda, the reason they will struggle is because they don't play any home games at the MCG like some of the other marble tenants like an Essendon and a Carlton, because you're going to have to win big games at the MCG in front of big crowds, which they just don't get exposure to.
Dave, that is correct. In regards to the MCG, I lived that for a period of time. It actually makes the place even more special. It makes the MCG
Does it affect you guys at all?
No, I don't believe so. I think that's in your own mind. What do they have to do to catch up to the Tigers? They've got to do everything right. I still think they're a run below the very, very best because, in my opinion, and I know there's only one Dustin Martin, and I know there's only a handful of those players that can turn a game on its head. I don't know if the Saints have that in big games. They can just change the flow of a game in an instant, like Dustin Martin did in the second half last year.
I've got a question I want you to answer later about that, and I wonder whether you feel like in the grand finals that you lost, I wonder whether you felt maybe that person never emerged for you guys and maybe did for the teams you were playing against.
Are you looking at me? Why are you pointing the finger at me when you're saying
I'm engaging with and talking with you.
And just look at your body, the leaning
I'm very excited to be here. I'm very excited.
Okay.
Let's get to some Blue Baggers who have called in to share their excitement and their expectations. Gareth is in Greensborough.
Hey, guys, how's it going?
We good, Gareth?
Yeah, just with Carlton supporters, I think we're a little bit hesitant. We just kind of don't know what we're going to see. We've had some good inclusions in Williams and Sard, but then we have players like Callum Moore named and Oscar McDonald at centre forward, which is a little bit worrying. So I think we're just holding our breath and just going to see what's happening from there. That's maybe Gareth, why we're not pulling up.
Let me put this to you as a diehard Blues supporter. Will you win more games than you did last year? If it's as simple as that, is it a yes or a no, more than last year or not?
I would certainly hope so, yes.
Hope. I heard the word hope there, Sammy.
That's what it's all about this time of year. Gareth, enjoy. Hopefully it's a good night for you. Off the text, Jezza says, I'm excited to have footy back. Carlton's list looks like the best for years. The Saints will be a great test. The Blues may have finally turned the corner. Great show. Thank you, Jezza. Lenny is in Beacon Cove, who's a Blue Bagger. Hello, Lenny.
Yeah, who are you? Identify yourself. You're a Blue Bagger. Who are you?
Me?
Yes.
No, I'm not a Blue Bagger, but my name's Sam. It's lovely to meet you. Sam Hargrave. I'm here with Nick Del Santo, and it's a joy to have you having a chat to us, Lenny.
Don't mean to be disrespectful there. I really don't. Look, I think the wall dam is just about to burst at Carlton Land. I just got this gut feeling that tonight we need to make a statement. I think we're up a bit of a harder effort against the Tigers at round one. I just got a gut feeling that we're going to go berserk tonight.
I hope for your sake, Lenny, that's exactly what happens, mate. Enjoy. Lovely to meet you too, Lenny.
That's all you get.
And he's gone.
Well,
but that's okay.
He doesn't acknowledge people he doesn't know.
That's fine. Even sometimes I have to look at my licence to figure out who I am. Off the text, Essendon fans sadly, but I think Blues win tonight with simply more to prove, and the win would mean more for them than the Saints. Have a great call, gents. That's from Peachy.
Thanks, Peachy.
Thank you to Peachy. 1300 736 736 0433 98 11 16. Hey, Del, where do you see Luke Dunstan in the Saints lineup? He brings grunt inside the Saints have struggled with, Craig and Mildura.
He does. Thank you, Craig, for that text. He's been doing the whole pre-season as a half forward. So what that says to me is a couple of things. One, in the opinion of the coaching staff at St Kilda, he's not in their rotation for midfielders, obviously, so therefore he's been completely squeezed out of that particular position. And with the forward line that St Kilda has in regards to small forwards, he's not in their best team.
But that's what I was going to ask you, because if he's a half forward, then when you've got the butler, Jack Higgins, who comes in and will play tonight to play that role as well, and then you've got all the Loneys and the Greshams and
the resting on baller, all those sort of guys.
Billings, these guys that all spend time down that end. It would look like it's going to be a big ask for Luke Dunstan.
He got squeezed out a little bit last year. You think about the progress of Caulfield and Hunter Clark and a handful of others. They brought in 8 recruits in the last 2 years. Something has to give, and at this stage, unfortunately, it has been Luke Dunstan.
Excited for the Saints tonight. Plenty of talent. Big watch on Jack Sinclair. He will finish top 5 in the BNFC tomorrow for a coffee, Dale. That's Harry from Brighton.
Okay. Harry, where are we meeting? Brighton? Done.
He hasn't specified.
As long as he's paying. Have you seen how much coffees cost these days? I don't know if it's inflation or if it's just where you buy it from, but those prices have gone through the roof.
We want hospitality venues to get back up on top.
If anyone offers you a coffee, always accept it.
Absolutely.
Getting a bit expensive.
We'll come back on the other side of this. Umpires just getting set on the field, so we aren't far away from a start at Marvel Stadium for the Blues and the Saints. The opening game of the AAMI Community Series. Don't go anywhere. It's up after this on SEN.
crews are attending a collision in Altona, westbound on Coral Creek Road over the Westgate Freeway. And in Kilda Park, got a crash, seeing the left-hand lane closed citybound on Fullerton Road near the Ring Road. And a crash in Somerville, Frankston Flinders Road at Hawkins Road. You loved it, so Oz Design Furniture have extended it. Enjoy 25% off sofas, dining tables, homewares and more. Hurry ends Monday at Oz Design Furniture. T's and C's apply. That's the latest SEN Sky traffic.
It's the new sound of chasing, pacing and racing.
1593 AM.
SEN Track.
During the massive Easter sale, Tyre Power are rolling out the deals. Catalogue online now, tyrepower.com.au. The NBL Cup. All GA tickets now only $10 each. Get tickets now via Ticketek.
Want to win free coffee for an entire year? That's a lot of lattes. Just order a McCafe coffee on the My Macca's app for your chance to win. There are 25 winners every day. But hurry, limited time only. Ends 23/03/21. Visit mcdonalds.com.au/coffeecomp for full terms.
Need to get tested for coronavirus but worried about missing work? Help is available. A $450 payment will be provided for workers who miss out on wages because they need to stay home. If you test positive or are a close contact of someone who does, a further $1,500 is available. For more information, visit dhhs.vic.gov.au/support payments. Stay safe, stay open. Authorised by the Victorian Government, Melbourne.
On Friday, March 12, the country is back racing strong at the Cranbourne Tricoats Night. Grab your mates or family and support the local Cranbourne community with a night of 24 races of racing, pacing and chasing action.
Back where we belong. Country racing strong.
Adult GA just $15 per person, or the VIP enclosure with Lee Harding performing in excess for $175 after the last. The Cranbourne Tricoats Night, Friday, March 12. Go to country.racing.com/Cranbourne to book now.
2020 was tough. We weren't where we wanted to be, but you gave it your all, and I'm proud of every single one of you. And now we're back at the G, and it's a new year. So it's time to get in there and get comfy. Settle into the best seats. Enjoy that awesome view, and grab a mini meat pie. Give your colleagues and clients something to cheer about. Step back into greatness and lock in your MCG premium experience this AFL season at mcg.org.au/premium.
Tyre Power have topped the customer satisfaction table again. That's right, Tyre Power received the coveted CanStar Blue Most Satisfied Customer Award for the second year running, making them winners 6 out of the last 7 years. We're proud and thankful to know that you voted for Tyre Power to receive 5-star reviews in every category of customer satisfaction. So when you need new tyres, go to the undisputed leaders in the field, Tyre Power. Visit your local owner-operator or find us at tyrepower.com.au.
It's hot work up there on the roof. You want to get it done and get down fast. Roofing and Sheet Metal Centre supply all your roofing needs. No need to shop around. Roof sheet, flashing, gutters and downpipes, rain heads and more, they've got it all. Made to spec from 100% Aussie Colorbond steel. Aussie roofs deserve nothing less. Delivery available too. Roofing and Sheet Metal Centre, rscentre.com.au.
Want to win free coffee for an entire year? That's a lot of lattes. Just order a McCafe coffee on the My Macca's app for your chance to win. There are 25 winners every day. But hurry, limited time only. Ends 23/03/21. Visit mcdonalds.com.au/coffeecomp for full terms.
Welcome to the 2021 AAMI Community Series.
Pulls it into the pocket. Cameron wants it. Cameron gets it. Martin Jackson. Martin's got it. He stood. He shoots. It's the stuff of legend.
AFL Nation for McDonald's. Smooth barista-made coffee from McCafe. Available 24/7.
The pre-season of the AFL 2021 season officially starts tonight. Hello and welcome to the AAMI Community Series on AFL Nation for McDonald's. Smooth barista-made coffee from the McCafe. It's available 24/7. It's Carlton and St Kilda tonight. Two teams with varying expectations from fans coming into this season. St Kilda with a story last year, the big improvers. They won a final and they went out to eventual premiers Richmond in the end, and they're looking to continue their surge up the ladder in season 2021. And for Blues fans, is this a year every year. So much promise, so much hope, so much anticipation, and still not yet back in the finals. Could this be the year? A couple of big name recruits. Is that the last? And are they the last pieces to the puzzle that they've been missing for so long now? Tonight we might get a little look to see if we've got that answered. Nick Del Santo is alongside me, Sam Hargraves as well. Del, we're going to get a look at a few things tonight, how teams have got through the pre-season, how they're going to navigate the new rules, how their new recruits are going to slot in. It's one of the most exciting times of the year for footy.
Absolutely. Lovely to be here, Sammy. Looking forward to watching a game live, first of all, with some people here that will make a little bit of natural noise. So, I mean, in all honesty, it has been so long since we've even had the option to come and be a part of something like tonight. So I'm really excited from our perspective, but also for these teams that you speak about. The Saints, you know, having a really good year last year from where they had been previously, winning that one final, which was exceptional. Then you've got the Blues, and I'd like to have a really good chat about the Blues, about their list and their list demographic, but also what they should be. Now, we've been talking about what they could be for a very long time. I think we're now changing that conversation for what they should be. Think of it as a piece, as a puzzle, and there's pieces to a puzzle. They've actually got a lot of them now. Yeah, yes, they are a bit young. Yes, they are experienced, but they've got pretty much what you need to be a contender. Now, all healthy and fit, when they're playing relatively good football, and that is obviously the if they are playing somewhere near their best football, they should be playing finals. Now, does that guarantee you anything? Absolutely not. We know the history of the Blues over the last 15 or 20 years hasn't been great in regards to playing finals, but it starts tonight. And it starts with them having a full dress rehearsal in regards to the way that they prepare for this game. Yes, it is an extended bench. We don't need to see Patrick Cripps, for example, at his very best tonight, but there is a lot of players that need to hit the ground running. It's been a shortened pre-season. The Saints have had a wretched run with injuries. The Blues are relatively healthy. Yes, they've got a couple of players missing. That's just football. But I'd love to see them put together a really good performance. They don't have to win. They don't even have to win tonight, Sammy, but just a really good performance where we can sit back after 2 hours and say, I saw some better signs tonight. I didn't see all of that last year. I didn't see it for 4 quarters, but I just saw a couple of things tonight that makes me optimistic about what the year could be.
0433 98 11 16. Text us throughout the course of the evening and give us your impressions of what you're hearing. And you might just be doing it very smartly with the TV on, sound down, us up. And we'd love to converse with you throughout the course of the evening, what you're seeing from your side. If I was a Carlton fan, Dale, what I'd want to see tonight are a couple of things. I'd want to see signs that Paddy Cripps doesn't have to be the best player week in, week out. He was still their number one contested ball winner. He's still their number one centre clearance player and clearance player. He was number one in the competition for average centre clearances per game last year. This man is, and I just want to get this right to see how old he is. 25 years of age, but he looks more and more like he's in his 30s because of the weight he's had to carry and the load he's had to bear. If I was a Blues fan, I'd want to see that he doesn't have to do that week in, week out. So they went and got Zach Williams. I was just looking at Tom Williamson down there. Zach Williams, he's going to spend midfield minutes. Paddy Dow's apparently a Bendigo boy like you and I, and he's apparently had his best pre-season yet, entering into his 4th year. Would that be the same for you?
Yeah, absolutely, to a point, though, I will say, Sammy, because if Cripps is the best player again tonight, he's their best player. Okay. That's what best players do. They're better than everybody else. But if he is the best player tonight, what I'd love to see is that next run of plays. You speak about Williams, who's coming in for pretty much his second match. It might take a little bit longer for him to, really find his feet and have that connection with the midfield group. But I'd like to see more of an even balance if it was to be below Patrick
Maybe I'll
Cripps.
put it this way. Yep. Every team has a Batman. For me, and it's in the midfield. For me, and would you agree that Carlton haven't had a Robin?
Yeah, and you know what the really good teams have? They have 4 Robins. Well, they have 5 Robins that just...
The Avengers or whatever you're into. The Justice League.
We're at Marvel Stadium. All the superheroes are here.
I shouldn't have said the other one. We're at Marvel Stadium.
But you're right, and I know that Carlton definitely aren't in that conversation of being the very good, very best teams. But you've always got the superstar. You've always got Dustin Martin.
Yeah.
But there's 5 to 10 other really, really good Robins right next to Dusty.
The other thing for them would be their disposal efficiency. They were 18th in the comp for uncontested ball last year, 18th for effective disposals, 18th for disposal efficiency. It would have to be an area of concern and one that you'd want to see a dramatic impact in if they are going to push for finals.
Yeah, when you look through the numbers of the Blues off the back of last year, and take it for what it's worth, but to put that in perspective, everybody was in the same situation, so the numbers stack up. They were really easy to score against when the opposition went inside forward 50. So in the defensive half for the Blues, they were easy to score against, yet the Blues didn't score that well. So it wasn't a style of football where it was just run and gun and a shootout. Yep. The Blues weren't scoring great, yet they were giving up easy goals going the other way. So the question could become, Sammy, what's the priority? You know, we live in a copycat league, and you go on what the very best teams are doing. Now, defence has dominated the competition for a long period of time. Maybe these rule changes will open that up a little bit, but is the focus of their pre-season to minimise the opposition, and off the back of that, back their natural ability? You bring in Assad off the halfback line, for example. You get this young group coming through. You mentioned Paddy Dow, who we'd love to see a lot more from. Maybe that's where the flair comes from. But you need to start with that team defence, because when you're giving up the scores they were last year, it is so hard to compete consistently.
The stat that backs up the point you were making earlier about their inability to score, it certainly wasn't for lack of entries.
No.
Inside 50s-wise, they averaged the fourth most in the competition every game.
Yep.
But they were 10th for scoring goals per game on average. So that's an issue. So when you look at a stat like that, what does it tell you about what's happening in their forward 50?
Look, just to flow on that, so time in forward half, which is a huge stat, it's about putting forward pressure on and setting up your team defence behind it. They were number 5 in the competition. Forward half turnovers, they were number 4. So they were doing what we love to cling to. They were doing the good, the easy things really, really well. Number 4 and number 5 in the competition. Yet when they were going inside forward 50, weren't using it overly well and inaccurate as well when going at goal. Now, hey, it's the first pre-season game.
Yep.
Let's be optimistic. It's not a simple fix, but it is so clear that you can identify that and work on that for the last 2 to 3 months. Now, the risk is, once again, Sammy, and I'm just going to have to put a little asterisk next to this, they haven't had the same pre-season as what they would normally have in regards to time on the track and able to work on those deficiencies. But if you want to be positive and you're a Blues supporter, you've got the ball inside your forward half, you go inside your forward 50, number 4 and number 5 in the competition, you've just got to score. Let's keep it as simple as that tonight. I'd love to see that area improve.
Let's turn our attention to the Saints. The Blues, it's a big year. We get that impression for them, and there's a lot of expectation and anticipation for them after finishing 11th last year. 17 games, 7 wins and 10 losses. On the other side of things, the Saints finished 6th. They lost that semi-final to the Tigers by 31 points. They had a win against the Western Bulldogs in week 1 of the finals. 10 wins, 7 losses. Where does the improvement come from St Kilda? We spoke about the players they added last year: Hill, Howard, Jones, Butler, Ryder. This year they had James Frawley, Brad Crouch, Jack Higgins, who you'd think would be in their best 22, and then Mason Wood. We'll talk about Paul Hunter, Sean McKernan as well. Tom Highmore, their pick number 45, missed 3 drafts. He comes in. We'll see him in a bit of action. So where's the improvement come from for St Kilda?
I think it has to be consistent over the board. And I know this is going to be a really generic answer, but I think it has to be consistency within the games. They lost a lot of games last year by a small margin. I think it was under 2 goals. I think it was roughly the number. They lost a handful of those. And I know this is, I'm being really positive. No one's lost a game just yet, so let's be happy for everybody.
Exactly.
But if they can get that right, but I also think that it just comes down to experience and actually executing in those moments. I thought there was numerous times last year that they just let themselves down. Tigers don't let themselves down those moments. Geelong rarely do. The good teams know how to manage those times.
We spoke to Brendan Lade a little earlier this evening, and we spoke about the fact that they were 14th in the comp for contested ball. They bring in Brad Crouch, who we know gets the job done in that area very well. He also addressed the fact that their pressure around the ground wasn't good enough last year. They were 16th in the comp for average tackles per game. One of the best for tackling inside 50. Dan Butler, who's got the best Patrick Swayze-like mullet. Think final scene, Point Break, getting around. That's where he identified as the improvement areas for the Saints this year. So who do you think's going to take it away this evening, Dal? I know it's not always about win-loss, but if you had to pick one.
I'm going to play safe. I'm going to go with the Saints. I think they get the job done by about 4 goals.
I'm with you. So
it's nice to be back. Have a great call.
So Paul Hunter, great to have you back too. Nick Del Santo, Sam Hargraves here. Paul Hunter, what a story this man. 2-week training opportunity. And he's converted into a 1-year contract,
and takes the first kick of the game. Oh, handball of the game.
Give away. Oh, that's a big bump on Caulfield. It's Hunter Clark, who was just planted like a tree from Zach Williams. As the Saints go inside forward 50, there's a free kick to King. Hunter Clark was met by Zach Williams. Have to see a replay of this, Dal. It was as solid a hit as we tend to see in the game today. But we'll get back to where the ball is, and looking forward to seeing what Max King brings to this season. He was fantastic last year for them. Their number one goal kicker, kicked 22 last year, and he gets the first on the board this evening.
It's a lovely start by the Saints. Nice out of the centre. I said first kick of the game. Well, like all good ruckmen, they've actually given it to the midfielder who's wrapped around the back, as we get to see it on the replay. Oh, jeez. They'll look at that straight away. Left the ground. Hunter Clark was kicking on his non-preferred left foot. Was going out wide to a free Gresham and just got clipped from Williams.
Off the text, I believe the Saints will make the finals in 2021, maybe meet up with Carlton again. That's from Dean, 0433 98 11 16. So one straight, the Saints on the scoreboard for Tyre Power, your trusted tyre experts. Fresh faces brought to you by Rolled Fast Fresh Vietnamese. Well, the fresh face for Carlton, their big recruit, along with Adam Sard, is going to have a nervous wait ahead of round one. And we're back in the middle. Pitnet and Paul Hunter. It'll be the Saints. Another clearance again. Sinclair, that mullet flowing beautifully. Left foot ball up to half forward. In front, Jones. Front and centre, Dan Butler. Almost the best in the competition at that particular skill. Wobbling ball. Nice collect, Membry. Billings looping ball. Higgins gives it off. Oh, the big ruckman's come down a long way in Paul Hunter, and he puts it through with a right foot snap in the right forward pocket. Life-changing few weeks for this man. And every single Saints player gets over to him, except James Frawley. It was a bit far to run, and he is a veteran, so he does get excused.
He's done that far too many times in his life. Chip Frawley, he'll pass on that message. What a start from the ruckman. Not only getting the first clearance of the game, as Hunter Clark comes from the ground. He does look a little bit shaken up from that bump in that first passage of play. What a start by the Saints.
So this man,
Paul Hunter, thinking, how easy is this AFL business, Sammy?
4 years at the Crows, never played a game there, got a 1 year deal, a couple of weeks to train when Rowan Marshall went down with that foot injury. He was supposed to play at Williamstown last year. COVID hit, he got out in the nick of time and went to play at South Adelaide. Made the team of the year in the Sandful.
It's a good story.
And he's kicked the Saints second. So two straight, Carlton yet to score. Tyre Power, your trusted tyre experts. They might get a clearance here. Setterfield on the left foot. The advantage wasn't anywhere near that. He gave it straight to Jack Sinclair, who fans it to the near wing. Butler involved early.
So Jack Sinclair has done the pre-season on the half back line, which is a change for him.
That kick was intended.
I think it was McKernan trying to come forward.
Who's coming through.
Oh, there's the 50. There's the first one.
Here we go.
Wasn't much in it. McKernan stood the mark. I reckon I'm going to say he moved 30 to 50 centimetres backwards. And you are not allowed to move your feet at all, as the new rules state.
So Liam Jones got in front, took the intercept mark, and the 50 given. So the penetrating kick inside, Mackay couldn't take the mark. Wrapped up Howard, had a really good year. His first at the Saints last year. Finished top three in their best and fairest.
How much leniency do we give the players for this new rule?
Clearly none.
What about us? Do we give them a break? Or?
Well, we're always very player-friendly, Dal. Cripps dodging, weaving, not breaking. The very strong tackle of Jimmy Webster. The more astute Jimmy Webster, who's sporting a new beard.
Trying to find his way back into the best team. Missed out on a lot of football last year.
Throwing about 48 metres around from the Blues' right point post. They're kicking to your right radio speaker. Saints to your left. Paul Hunter got the first hands on it, and he's got support. Hill receives. Was going to give it back to Webster, then realised he had a little bit more time and space to operate in. Drives it down the near wing line. Goes out the back of the pack, and this is where the Saints' speed can come into play. Higgins there. Well done, Doherty. Sard, speaking of speed, in the new colours, his third club. Got a handball clear, and now Setterfield has a bit of field to work in, and that's a beautiful kick. Lays it at 45 metres, stab pass to Cripps, who slices through. Got a good shepherd, runs to 45. Looping handball, Fisher right forward pocket. Could have snapped it on the right, went back on the left, tried to do maybe a little bit too much, Del. And it goes to the right-hand side, just the one behind. He actually could have straightened and had a shot when he accepted the handball from Cripps.
Yeah, Cripps have put him into space. Unfortunately, that is a common trend of left footers. They always have to get back on that left. But you're right, he had a lot of space in front. Could have straightened up and slotted the Blues first.
Wilkie pounds it down the near line. McKernan, good grab over the back of Jones. Releases Hill. Runs his full measure down the near wing of Marvel Stadium. On the bounce, Billings. It won't stay in at left half forward, and we'll have it thrown in. 2 straight, the Saints. Carlton just the one behind on the scoreboard for Tyre Power, your premiership favourite for Toyo tyres.
Sammy, just watching Brad Hill early on, we're only coming up 6 minutes into this game. I think no one was probably impacted more by the shortened quarters than Brad Hill last year. He is a man that would just love to run forever, runs his opponent into the ground. Didn't have a great year.
That's a strong tackle from Jack Martin.
The longer the game goes, the better Brad Hill will get.
And Seb Ross, nice on the left, just caressed it into some space and said, that's where I want you to be, Tim Membry, and he honoured his end of the contract. Took the easiest of chest marks in the left forward pocket, about 35-40 metres around from the left point post.
Saints number 1 for accuracy last year. They had been horrific the previous 5 years for that particular stat. Helps when you kick a lot of goals from the goal line.
189 goals in 110 AFL games for Tim Membry. Can't see if he's got any new ink this year. He lays this one up, gives it a very, very good chance to come back to the left, and it just held its line across the face. First blemish for the Saints.
I don't think Tim Membry can get any more ink. He's got no space left.
Oh, there's a bit of calf that can be...
Oh, you're in calf?
Just having a look in the Bushnells now. There's still a bit of leg.
He's missed the spot.
Hasn't gone the hands. Here's Sard. Oh, he was away. Dan Butler pressure, though. Forced the slippage of Sard. Higgins an opportunity. Feeds it back. Gresham back in the side. Just to the top of the square. Blues have got numbers. Jones. Good contest, and Setterfield now finds Petrevsky-Seaton by hand, and that's very nice onto the chest of Oscar McDonald, the former D.
It's going to take a little while to get used to a couple of these plays in different colours and different numbers, but not the kicking result, unfortunately,
Put it at the bootlaces of the co-captain, which is never advised.
These supporters have seen that kick a few times.
Sam Walsh on the near wing, just outside the square. Look at that for delivery. Brilliant to Paddy Dow. Just outside forward 50. He's just going to put it into the hot spot. Mackay couldn't mark. Crumming Fisher. Quick snap goal. Makes up for the miss earlier. Gets the Blues first tonight. What are you saying, Dale?
Well, I'm seeing Fox Footy, who's covering tonight's game and doing a very good job, but I don't know if I've ever seen a camera literally go onto the ground with an assistant. There is a roaming camera and an assistant in the face of Zach Fisher right now. It just caught my eye. I'm like, what is going on here? I thought it was a street car.
Isn't that the spider cam or whatever?
What about a handheld camera but that's about the size of a fridge? What is that real?
That's a big, and they use that. There's a waist harness that they use to put it on.
I've just been told they're trialling it in this series. I don't know if that one's going to get through to the real season.
It's like a paparazzi just sort of just popping out of the sprinkler. You'd get a fright too, I reckon. You turn around and there's a camera. So 1-1-7 the Blues, 2-1-13 the Saints. Tyre Power, trusted tyre experts. This is the AAMI Community Series on AFL Nation for McCafe Barista-made coffee. Pitnet, now McKernan spending some time in the ruck. The former Crow and Bomber. Walsh will get the clearance, presenting and being paid the mark is the former D himself in Oscar McDonald.
I think he's got done for chopping the arms. That was Chip Frawley on a one-on-one with Oscar McDonald. He just had good position on him early. Absolutely, the free kick was there. Frawley just got a little bit desperate and just grabbed that arm as he was trying to get to the drop of the footy.
Just wonderful to see the Frawley name back at St Kilda, and James wearing the number 24 that we know Spud wore for his first couple of years at Moorabbin. As Oscar McDonald presses his case as a train-on player to get a contract for this year. He puts through the Blues second, and we're all square at Marvel. 9 minutes 42 played in the first term. Tyre Power, your trusted tyre expert scoreboard.
That was a lovely finish from McDonald. I just spoke about his kicking off the half-back line where he missed the target from 15 metres away. Very casual approach, and that was a much better kicking technique, and the result obviously was a lot better than the previous attempt.
Played 81 games and kicked one goal at Melbourne.
For obvious reasons. Spent the majority of his time in the back half.
Oh, no, I was just saying that he
saw a lot of the football.
His second goal, albeit in a pre-season game.
Take any when you've only kicked one. That's
196 centimetres and 100 kegs. So
he actually held his space really well. I don't know his junior career, whether he was a forward at some stage, but just his ability just to hold his space and just hit the ball at pace, and therefore getting the free kick against Frawley.
So back in the middle of Marvel Stadium, Pitnet, McKernan. Pitnet just weighted down and slapped that towards the near wing, and they all hit the deck, sliding onto behinds, Howard and Pitnet. Loose ball at left half back. Saints have got numbers. Sinclair and Hill combine. Hill just caressed it onto the left foot, looking for McKernan, who just held his space, as you said earlier, and took the one-handed pluck on the left. Butler weaving through, wanted to give it to Higgins, straightened up instead because Battle had kept running and found just a little bit of grass that was unattended inside forward 50, and he takes that mark pretty much where Membry took the one earlier, about 40 metres out, 5 metres in from the boundary in the left forward pocket.
That was a beautiful passage of play. Started by Brad Hill off the half-back flank that worked back to support, and then just their speed through the wing and into the half-forward line. Battle coming in. Kick on its way, and it looks delightful.
Very, very good off the boot. Quality finish from Josh Battle. And the Saints have got their third, 3-1-19, 6-point lead over the Blues, 2-1-13. Taipei Trusted Tyre Expert scoreboard. And Dale, we just see Jade Gresham come off. Only played, I think, about 9 or 11 games last year.
I think it was about half the games last year, yes.
But when he did play, he was their number one for average inside 50s a game, 3.27. Number one for centre clearances average per game, even more than Jack Steele at 2.36. So we know how important he is to that Saints midfield.
I touched on a Dustin Martin-like player that I don't think St Kilda has, and I say that with a little bit of trepidation because the easy answer is, well, there's only one Dusty, and I completely agree.
Yep.
Jade Gresham is their version of Dusty. Now, he's not at the same level, but he's that one that has that flair, that little bit of freedom to come and go a little bit, get ahead of the football at the right time, go into the centre bounce and just have an opportunity and then spit forward. Need him back. Got to play more than just 50% of the games as he did last year.
Closing, 23 years old, closing in on 92 games. You think this is the season to announce himself?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, look at this combination off half back again. Sinclair, long, goes exactly as his name would suggest. Bouncing ball, good use of the body from Steele. Releases Loney, runs all the way to the line and puts it up into the upper deck. That was very fast ball movement from the Saints. Very attractive to watch.
It's the second passage of play that has almost been exactly the same. One right in front of us here on centre wing, that one right through the middle of Marvel Stadium, and you summed it up. Speed and long kicking. Brad Hill getting behind the football, creating that outnumber, and as soon as there is a mark or a teammate of the Saints sees that they're going to win the football, they get 1, 2, 3 players forward of the football, and they've just got multiple options. That was brilliant by Jack Steele out of the goal square. Used his body, one possession, then had the over-the-top handball. Joe the Goose to Loney in the goal square.
We spoke about disposal efficiency last year. St Kilda 12th in the comp for that. Can I tell you at the moment, Del, if my stats are up to speed, they're going at 91.4% disposal efficiency.
Well, what that says to me is the Blues are putting on no pressure because that number is far too high.
So back in the middle, here's one of our new favourites, Paul Hunter, going to work again. Saints are going to win another clearance here. Membry fed it back a long way into the middle, charging off centre half forward. Hill keeps it very low, flat and hard. Wanted Battle, who was taken out of the battle just as hard. And the Blues will clear the right half back, the veteran Mark Murphy. He's just going to lay this up. Little tangle, Mackay, and Dougal Howard. It goes over their heads, and Oscar McDonald just presenting again.
Just watching Jacob Wettering hobbling behind the play. He was in that contest with Josh Battle. Keep a close eye on him.
Preston Ferris last year for Carlton. As Oscar McDonald goes inside forward 50 for the Blues. Big pack forms.
Oscar Robinson. Is he a New York Yankees pitcher?
Oscar Robertson. I've been doing a lot of basketball lately.
It's just coming natural.
Little toe poke, right forward pocket. Murphy had followed up. And there's Zach Williams in Cade Simpson's old number 6.
So we've mentioned a couple of players that are trialling out new positions. Josh Battles started his career as a forward, went to the half-back line last year and did a really serviceable job. He's now gone forward again.
So ball to be thrown in. It's going to land 25 metres out from the Blues goal. McDonald, Williams, quick collect, snap and goal. It's class. Right spot. Strong to hold out the tackler. Fantastic finish. There you go, Blues fans.
And expect to see a lot more of that, Sammy. He's played the majority of his career across the half-back line for the Giants. sort of pinched hit through the middle and had more opportunity with a few injuries and probably other players leaving that football club that have given him opportunity to trial as a mid. You see him as a permanent mid. He's played 113 games in his career, just kicked the 27 goals, but that is exactly why you want him in the team. The way he moves through a contest at pace, ask questions of the defenders. Are you going to man me up? Are you going to let me move through here?
So
that's a lovely finish.
Ticking up the 16 minutes. 3-1-19 the Blues, 4-1-25 the Saints. Type out your premiership favourite for Toyo Tyres. A fresh face at Carlton is Zach Williams for rolled. Family-made Vietnamese served fast and fresh. They will look at an incident from the opening moment of this game.
Yeah, they will.
Where he cleaned up Hunter Clark. But after that's all said and done, and here's Sinclair now coming out of the middle. Another clearance to the Saints. Marking contest inside forward 50. Loney couldn't take it. Sard and Plowman combined. Wiedering had his kick covered but recovered and then was well tackled by Loney and he's given it away. Stayed in the contest, did Jack Loney, and rewarded for it. That's that forward pressure. Handed off quickly to Hill, running inside forward 50. Oh, that is an exquisite finish from a tight angle from a running Brad Hill.
That was like a video game.
Yeah.
The Blues were trying to set up their defence. It was from almost the exact same position that Tim Membry had a shot earlier in the game. Little sneaky handball off, and very smart by Loney being a left footer. His left foot would have been probably outside the boundary when he would have made contact. Brad Hill, this is what Saints supporters wanted to see from Brad Hill last year. Getting your hands on the football, having impacts on games. My opinion on him last year, the game time obviously didn't help him. He's a man that would love to play all day, every day, run his opponent into the ground. Didn't get his hands on the football enough. Selfless running. We saw a lot of footage of him last year, running, drawing defenders, but not getting his hands on the footy. When you kick it like that, give it to him every single time.
Do you buy into that the shorter quarters hurt him because he couldn't, the gut running couldn't be brought into play?
Yeah, I do. I think it just allowed other players to bridge that gap on how far you had to run.
Free kick's been called from the restart. It'll go to Zach Williams. Jack Martin spending some time on the ball as well, and Sam Walsh. So Williams just goes very high and very long. Silvani got to the front of the pack that was crashed by Mackay. There is McDonald again involved. Dow tried to release Martin, but he's going nowhere. That wrapped up Jack Silvani, rather. Good tackle, Nick Caulfield. And we'll have it thrown up 35 metres out directly in front of the Blues goal. Pitnet just too strong. Too strong and too good. Just got rid of Paul Hunter, took it out of the ruck and slammed it onto that right slipper, and he gets the Blues fourth.
Another goal from a forward 50 stoppage. That will concern the St Kilda coaching staff. That is a massive no-no. If it happens once, you might have to cop it and you'll review it on Monday. That is at least the third of their 4 goals in very similar fashion. So they'll have to sort that out, but really well done. It was a great finish by the ruckman.
Yeah, Mark Pitnet.
202 centimetres, the big fella. 102 kicks. There's a lot of man there. Just used his body really well.
And how accurate's the kicking been? We've had 2 behinds kicked and 9 goals.
5-1-31. Plays 4-1-25. This is how football should be played, Sam.
I know,
I'm expecting this every game for the whole year. Is that too much to ask for?
0433 98 11 16. The text line is open.
I can't see it dropping off from this.
Is that tongue firmly planted in the cheek at the minute?
I have crossed every part of my body. I'm hoping that this is the standard.
Nice palm to Walsh, who was able to get some clear space, put it out to the far wing. Williams was held well in the tackle by Ben Long, who's been rewarded for said tackle. He just drops it over the top into some space, and there's Brad Crouch, I reckon, for his first disposal in St. Colours.
I believe so.
Just on the far side wing, and he'll hold it up the former Crow.
And this will be his last game for a month.
Yes, of course.
He'll have the weekend off next weekend, as all players do, and then he owes 2.
2-game suspension for... Was it the drug infringement?
I believe so.
And they've just spread it and switched it back to centre-half back, where Webster, who's going to go right back to whence it came, to Memory, who was on a searching lead and takes the mark at right half back. He's come a long way to get on the end of that, Tim Memory.
Going to have to go long here. All options cut off.
First time tonight we've seen play just hold up and assessed and a little bit methodical. Little toe poke came out of the congestion from Loney. Butler didn't have the clean hands we normally see. Regathers and gives to Battle, who puts it into the right forward pocket. King couldn't mark. Well done, Jones, to get a fist on it and send it over. We'll have it thrown in about 25 metres around from the right point post.
The Saints are a short kicking team. Maybe that's the influence of the amount of Hawthorn people that they have at the football club. They are very much a keepings off style footy team. Get the ball forward and just surge.
King just took it out of the ruck. Umpires
penalised him for pushing.
Got rid of Pitnet. There's Sard now with some space to work in. And that is a low drilling ball. McDonald again did well to get to the front of the contest and force exactly that. But the ball spills over the line and we'll have it thrown in. Just forward of centre, far side wing. 21 minutes played and change in this first quarter. 4-1-25 the Blues, 5-1-31 the Saints. Taipei Trusted Tyre Expert scoreboard. McCafe Barista Made Coffee. This is the AAMI Community Series on AFL Nation. Again, Saints with the numbers at the stoppage. Gresham, who we've talked about, inside 50 entry. The pack sort of all fell over. I reckon Wiedering's going to get a free kick, and he will. Plays on quickly. The spread is on. Switches it across the face of goal to Tom Williamson. 32 games in his career so far. He wanted Martin, who I don't think was expecting himself to be the target of that. Webster got to the front. Ball spills to Brad Hill. He's got some time. The show, as he was going to go to long and then came around on the right boot. Inside 50 entry again. Tom Williamson did well to stand his ground. The ball spills to Adam Sard. Rifles a handball further afield. Now they've got some run from Petreski, Seaton.
Frawley,
Jack Silvani storming towards goal. He's lost James Frawley, who's just given up on the contest.
He's done his hammy.
Oh no, that's bad news indeed. The Saints defenders get in and help out and they've forced a stoppage.
I saw that, Sammy. It was Silvani and Frawley sprinting from centre wing, trying to get goal side, and as Frawley's tried to make some body contact at about 50, he's just pulled up lane, walking from the ground now with the doctor.
Ball thrown up. Crouch got a hand clear to Caulfield. Left forward pocket hemmed in on the boundary. Brad Hill's had a heap of it in this quarter. Oh, King, that's a strong presentation at the pill. And he gets a free kick, and I reckon...
Well, Frawley's got his hand in the air. He's joined back in.
Oh, he's gone still out
What
there.
are you doing?
Frawley takes the mark. Dishes off Loney. Vacant 50. Memory pushing back hard. It'll be downfield. Sard infringed. After Loney got rid of it, there's a fair bit of action happening. Advantage paid. Memory waltzes in to the open goal. Easy as you like, and the Saints have got 6 for the quarter.
The story is Chip Frawley. They've had a wretched run with injuries over the last couple of weeks. The Saints at their training. Chip Frawley, with 7.5 minutes to play in this first quarter, he'll head straight down into the rooms. I can't believe he joined back in. He was a metre from coming off the ground with a hamstring and about to ice that up, and he joined back in the passage of play and created a goal.
Let me ask you this, Odell. What does that tell you then? If he knows
selfless.
that
He's selfless.
Okay.
He thinks, what can I do for the team right now? What
yes,
can I
there's
do?
that. I know there's that, but what else
What's
does
the
it
true
tell you?
story? That it's not that bad?
I was going to say something else.
That it's gone and you think...
And he just knows that it's not going to get any worse.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. Again, my medical degree's still at the bottom of whatever cereal box I can find it at, but...
I don't know what his history of hamstrings are.
If you know,
let us know.
Frawley hamstring
Please
history.
text in.
James, 043398 11-16. Hunter back into the ruck and is having a real impact. Look at him just force this forward with follow-up work. Laying a boot into it off the deck was Jack Steele. It goes all the way to the top of the square. Gresham. Doherty did well to lose him, find the footy, and Setterfield, who just pivots and kicks in pretty much one motion to clear defensive 50. That goes out of bounds on the full. So we're about 80 from home. It'll be Ben Long to bring them back in. Number one for the Saints for intercepts last year was Long, and that's a very good kick into a little bit of space that opened up for Loney to lead into. Took the mark on his chest in front of Adam Sard. 20 metres out, 45 angle.
It was the ball flight that caught Sard out. It was Loney's going to go corridor and they're just sleeping. The Carlton defence absolutely asleep. Kick's gone inside 20 metres to Dan Butler. He's going to have a shot from 40, almost directly in front. It was the initial kick from Long, the check side inside forward 50 under a little bit of pressure that allowed Loney to read the ball better. Took the mark, but that's unforgivable. Speak about the Saints giving up goals at the other end from stoppages. That's exactly the same down the other end.
So Dan Butler, who I think was absolutely robbed
of an All-Australian position.
Yep. One of the greatest snubs we'll see. One of the best forward pressure players we've seen, and had a brilliant year last year in front of goal as well, and that kick's just delightful off the boot. From 45, and not much of an angle, never looked like missing. So he gets the Saints 7th in this opening quarter, 11 goals in total. 4-1-25, the Blues, the Saints 7-1-43 for Tyre Power, trusted tyre expert. AFL Nation for McCafe Barista Made Coffee, available 24/7 from the McCafe. What are you liking about the Saints at the moment, Dale?
I like their speed has been standing out to me. Their centre clearance work has been exceptional, started by Hunter. But also, once again, their accuracy. As I mentioned earlier, they were number one in the competition last year for accuracy. A lot of those goals coming from almost gimme positions. They put 22 goals, 8 on the board last week against the Kangas. 140 points they scored. They're already up to 7 goals, 143, with 6 and a bit to play in this first quarter.
Nick Del Santo, Sam Hargraves with you on AFL Nation for the McCafe Barista Made Coffee. 43-25. Still only 2 behinds kicked. Accuracy going very well at the moment. That's holding the ball on Seb Ross, his opposite number, Zach Williams. And again, so no movement on the mark. So there's the great exploitation or advantage of that rule. The man on the mark can't move. So a guy like Zach Williams, who's can be a 100-metre possession player, Del, is able to just get on his bike, get going quickly and find the chest of a teammate. And this time it's Mark Pitnet, 30 metres out directly in front.
I think Steve Hocking and his crew will be patting themselves on the back.
Oh, there'll be some shoulder
early on. Shoulder
dislocations as they reach around. Oh, Pitnet. High ball drop. Looked ungainly. Doesn't matter. Effective. He's got 2 in the quarter. Might be the only multiple goal kicker on the ground. 5-1-31. The Blues now. 7-1-43. The Saints. 27 minutes. Jeez, we're not used to quarters going this long, Dale.
I thought it was half time. We're only coming up to quarter time. Jeez.
I know.
I might have to ask for a coffee. This game's sneaking away from us.
I told the beautiful Evie I'd be home in a couple of hours. Sorry, love, I forgot that we're back to regulation quarters.
But in all seriousness, what we just saw from that centre square bounce clearance is exactly what the AFL want to see.
Yep.
The inability of the man on the mark to move laterally, to cut off any ability to run that extra 5 to 10 metres. That ball's gone an extra... Well, with a bit of momentum, it's gone over 5 to 10 metres. That's gone an extra 15, I'd say, on where it would have gone if they had to go all the way back and kick over the man on the mark.
So Pitnet, the only multiple goal kicker. Fisher has 1. Zach Williams has 1. McDonald has 1 for the Blues. And for the Saints, as we're underway again in the middle, Ross got a hand cleared to Gresham, who I reckon had a case to answer for being held. On the rebound now, Dow, penetrating ball, top of the square. Blues have got numbers, overrunning it. Mackay has to go back in and find it, bottled up. Bodies fall on top. We'll have it thrown up at the right-hand point of the square for the Blues. They're only trailed by 12 points now. Pitnet lost front spot to McKernan, who palmed it straight down. Howard receives it from Billings. Inside out. Banana on the right boot. Butler made a contest on Williams. It spills Petretzky. Seaton, errant kick. Didn't lower the eyes and put it straight onto the chest of Jack Steele, co-captain for the Saints this year. They'll come near side to exit. Wiedering got front spot and got a clip round the ears, but still took the mark in front of Max King. So number 1 pick in his draft year. Best and fairest last year, and I think everyone was impressed with that acceptance speech. No mark taken inside forward 50. Left back pocket, it spills to Gresham. Under pressure from Silvani, who just, I reckon, affected the kick with the pressure he put on. Allows Doherty to reload. Back inside forward 50 for the Blues. Back of the pack. Sinclair couldn't come away with it and was dumped into the turf pretty aggressively from Silvani. And he's been paid the free kick. No advantage, so it'll have to come back to Jack Sinclair.
Needed that the Saints. Their forward structure was all out of whack. Had nothing to kick to forward of the football. Blues had set up really well behind the footy, hence why it kept on going back inside.
Saints by 12, ticking up to 30 minutes. Big ride from Jones, but the disciplined defender didn't want to take the mark. Put the fist on it. Front and square was Fisher. 360 slung in the tackle, but still got boot the ball. Centre field. Inside forward 50. Free kick. It'll go against Mackay to Howard. And he releases Caulfield. Went over his head, rather. Battle is there to help. Got it to Wilkie. Stabbing left foot ball. Finds Caulfield just outside his defensive 50 where it meets the boundary. And they'll slow it up. 7-1-43 the Saints, 5-1-31 the Blues. For Tyre Power, your premiership favourite for Toyo tyres. Far side wing, Blues won it back momentarily. Ed Curnow wrapped up by Battle. And Brad Crouch in the number 5, made famous by Ian Stewart and Ozzie Jones. Another congestion created from the stoppage. Free kick going to Ed Curnow. High tackle from McKernan. He just drops it into some space where Murphy waits right alongside the boundary. Just turns around and wants Mackay on the lead. Just went over his outstretched hands. Sinclair was well tackled. Didn't get boot the ball. Should have been a free kick. Silvani's forward line pressures stood out in this first term. Williams comes in. Handball Nunes. Feeds it back to Ed Curnow. 60 from home. Crafts the kick. Fisted away. Sinclair just hacked it out of there, hoping. And that hope's been rewarded. It went to King, and now the Saints are away on the far side. He puts it over the head of Battle. And that's well run down. Petransky-Seaton got boot to ball as he was being put to ground. It goes inside, forward 50. Higgins ran out of real estate, but still was able to screw it around the left shoulder. Bouncing ball, Doherty, under pressure from Butler, got it to Sard. Now there's some help. They'll go back to Doherty. He can switch across the face of goal. Setterfield can settle it down.
Blues fans unhappy. Felt like they deserved a couple of free kicks. They got some space on the near side, Sammy.
Look at the room that Silvani, he was forcing pressure on the far side. He's come near side now.
So this is an interesting one. And I've called play on, allowed Jimmy Webster to move.
Murphy, it's a risky kick. The target was Lockie Fogarty, the former Cat. He couldn't take the mark, but Pitnet, of all people, to get the crumbs, and Jeezy hospital to Dow, who had it well fisted away from him. Silvani wrapped up strong tackle.
I'm not going to like this one, Sam.
And if you can't quite tell, I think there's more Blues here than Saints.
As much as I don't know if that was a free kick, it is actually nice to hear people getting angry again.
How good is it? How good is it? Off the text, I don't need to see any more. Are you kidding me? This rule is embarrassing. It's wrong. It's changing the fabric of the game. That's from Alan in Bentley. Alan, I think you're referring to the man on the mark rule.
The ball carriers have actually used it really well to their advantage.
So it can't be long left in this quarter. We've played 33 minutes as Billings just dumps it down the line to right half forward. Pitnet.
Been very good.
Stood tall in that marking contest. Got rid of Membry and King. Has 2 goals and has taken some good clunks. He just drives it back in the exact place that it came. McKernan, strong mark as his legs were taken out from underneath him. Lands heavily, but lands with ball in hand. Couple of good grabs going end to end. Bit of kick to Kickdale. Wanted to enter into some candy commerce with Paddy Cripps, who bought the shop inside forward 50, spills out the back. Membry had one earlier, he's now got 2, and they were both pretty easy. Out the back, running into an open goal. 8 goals in the quarter from the Saints.
Harry Mackay coming from the ground for the Blues. He's going to keep a close eye on him. He's sitting straight down and speaking to the medical staff of the Blues. Fingers crossed everything is okay. Have a closer look.
What are you seeing in your binoculars?
Well, it was in there. I'd love to see the replay. Actually, I'm looking at it right now. Oh, he just right ankle. It was in that McKernan mark. I think he's just got caught up on the landing. Appears like he's injured the right ankle. We'll keep a close eye on him. Fingers crossed, nothing too serious.
8th in the comp for marks inside 50 average per game. Harry Mackay, 4th actually, 2.46 he averaged. He took the 8th most marks inside 50 for the year. We know how important he is, especially with no Charlie Curnow. Kicked the most goals to the Blues with 21.
You read out that text before from Alan in Bentley. One's just come through. This is the best rule ever introduced. Free-flowing footy, finally.
I've got to say, when you have a player like Zach Williams who can just get on the bike and charge through the middle, he's a laser from Gresham, ends up on the chest of Sard. So Loney denied him the corridor and said, you're going to have to go wide. So he did. He just turned his body, didn't move on the mark. Spills out the back. No mark taken by McDonald, the former D. Caulfield hemmed in. There's a siren. Well, first quarter of the official pre-season, the AAMI Community Series, and we've had 13 goals kicked in it. I know it's too early to tell, but if this is a sign of the times ahead, then We'll be very, very happy with that. But we're 1 quarter down, 8-1-49 the Saints, 5-1-31 the Blues. On the Tyre Power, your trusted tyre expert scoreboard. This is AFL Nation for the McCafe Barista-Made Coffee. Smooth barista-made coffee from the McCafe. Available 24/7.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for Tyre Power. 3 votes during the massive Easter sale.
Want to win free coffee for an entire year? That's a lot of lattes. Just order a McCafe coffee on the My Macca's app for your chance to win. There are 25 winners every day. But hurry, limited time only. Ends 23/03/21. Visit mcdonalds.com.au/coffeecomp for full terms.
Sometimes needing new tyres can catch us by surprise. That's why Tyre Power gives you the power of Zip Pay and Zip Money. It means you can get what you need now, get back on the road safely and pay for it later, taking advantage of the interest-free periods. So if you need new tyres or mechanical repairs, don't wait till it gets worse. Get them now with Zip Pay or Zip Money at Tyre Power. No fuss, no wait, no worries. Terms and conditions apply. So visit tyrepower.com.au or call 13 21 91 for your local owner operator.
Did you know that right now you can get everything you need to help you move from Budget?
Everything?
Everything.
I'll bet they don't have boxes. You always need more boxes.
They have boxes.
Ropes?
They have ropes.
Bubble wrap?
They have bubble wrap.
All right then, I bet they don't have trolleys.
They have trolleys. And you can drive a budget moving van with a car licence. It's easy.
I knew that.
Of course you did.
There's a new name in DIY, and this weekend, the coffees are on us.
Instead of another ad that'll help another business, here's one that will help yours. We know business is tough right now, which is why this radio station and every other station in the country wants to help you get word out that you're open for business. And with 95% of all Australians tuning in each week, radio's alive with new customers at a time you need them most. For reach that gets results, visit radioalive.com.au.
New car sales are hot, and for a quality SUV or ute at a value price, check out Havel GWM at Astoria, Bentley East. The new GWM Cannon ute has 4-wheel drive, dual cab, auto, diesel, and only $33,990 drive away. Havel SUV auto models are from only $22,990 drive away, and all have 7 years warranty. Plus, we need your trade-in, and we'll pay good money for it. Astoria Havel GWM, North Road, Bentley East, LMCT 10901.
The Uncle Jack official AFL Licence 2021 Lux Team Collection goes on sale Wednesday, March 17. Featuring the whole range of 18 teams, these Uncle Jack watches are built with stunning designs, premium silicone bands, and an affordable price. They're the perfect gift for any AFL fanatic and a great way to support your club. Need your favourite club's watch? Sign up to the VIP waiting list now at UncleJackWatches.com. These will sell out.
Steady. If you've loved watching mini golf on TV, then tee off with the kids or friends at Albert Park Mini Golf and enjoy the challenge of their specially designed 18-hole mini golf course. Kids can grab an ice cream while mum and dad can enjoy a drink while they play. Albert Park Mini Golf fun for everyone. Check out the course and see great specials at albertparkminigolf.com.au.
The way Australian businesses access business NBN fibre has changed for good. With our fastest ever wholesale symmetrical speeds and a wide choice of providers, we're making business fibre more accessible in more locations than ever to improve high-speed connectivity right across Australia. To find out more, search Business NBN Fibre today.
Want to win free coffee for an entire year? That's a lot of lattes. Just order a McCafe coffee on the My Macca's app for your chance to win. There are 25 winners every day. But hurry, limited time only. Ends 23/03/21. Visit mcdonalds.com.au/coffeecomp for full terms.
You're listening to AFL Nation for McDonald's. Smooth barista-made coffee from McCafe. Available 24/7.
Billings looping ball. Higgins gives it off. Oh, the big ruckman's come down a long way in Paul Hunter, and he puts it through with a right foot snap in the right forward pocket. Handed off quickly to Hill, running inside forward 50. Oh, that is an exquisite finish from a tight angle from a running Brad Hill.
That was like a video game.
Vacant 50. Membry pushing back hard. It'll be downfield. Sard infringed. After Loney got rid of it, there's a fair bit of action happening. Advantage paid. Membry waltzes in to the open goal. Easy as you like, and the Saints have got 6 for the quarter. Inside forward 50, spills out the back. Membry had one earlier, he's now got 2, and they were both pretty easy. Out the back, running into an open goal. 8 goals in the corner from the Saints. Just some of the highlights from an entertaining and free-flowing first quarter, the opening game of the AAMI Community Series on AFL Nation for the McDonald's Smooth Barista-Made Coffee from the McCafe, available 24/7. 8-1-49 the Saints, 5-1-31 the Blues. If we had played all the highlights, Dale, we'd probably resume at about halfway through the first quarter. There was plenty of space, there was plenty of goals kicked, plenty of voice with fans back at Marvel Stadium, and plenty to get excited about for both sides.
It was an entertaining first quarter. Now, really free-flowing. 8 goals, 1 place, 5 goals, 1. So clearly the scoring was a result of the way that both teams were able to move the football. Check out these numbers. The Saints, 94 disposals for that quarter at 86% efficiency. The Blues, 72 disposals, so 20-odd less, at 78% disposal efficiency. This rule that we're seeing, and I'm talking specifically about the man on the mark, may change the game the way that it is played more than anything in the last 2 decades. It is that significant. If this is anything to go by, that is how significant it is. Not only do the players have the freedom, once taking a mark, for example, to go back and then take their space, they don't even have to go back anymore. They have the luxury and the freedom to know that they can go corridor without being touched. And if they do come off the mark, they take the free 50-metre penalty anyway. This has been substantially different.
One of the standout parts of the way St Kilda played last year was their efficiency inside forward 50, just 9th for average inside 50s, but 2nd average goals, and they're at 56% efficiency inside 50 again. So just one of the big stats for St Kilda as Crouch gets a clearance and drives them inside forward 50. Higgins in a foot race will be too quick for Tom Williamson, who just bundles him over the boundary line, and the ball goes over in the same vicinity, and we'll have it thrown in. Not everybody loving it off the text, Dale. We've got people saying, how good is this? Free-flowing footy finally. Someone saying, if you like basketball, you'd love this C wrap.
Well, I love basketball, so
do I.
So I love it.
Shootout doesn't necessarily mean good football. We want a contest, hoping for better defensive efforts from both teams for the rest of the game. Crouch releases Hill, who just screws it back around on the right foot to the hot spot where the pack forms and ball hits the deck. Doherty, it was Plowman rather, kick partially smothered. There's Fogarty, the former Cat. Couldn't find a teammate by hand. Fisher to mop up. He'll get it back from Walsh. Just took his eyes off the pill in midair. And it goes out of play in the left forward pocket. Saints going to your right radio speaker. Blues to your left.
Good forward half pressure there from the Saints. That is one thing that has stood out. And I know, as you just mentioned, not everybody loving the style of game on better defence. Well, there's a perfect example of the forward pressure.
Ball thrown in. A couple of injury concerns. James Frawley, hamstring first quarter. He knew straight away it was gone. And I haven't seen Harry Mackay come back out after you said he may have had a little ankle complaint in that first quarter. I'm just having a look for him in the Bushnells and can't locate him.
Can't see him on the bench either, Sammy, so fingers crossed it's nothing serious. He did jog from the ground.
So a ball thrown in at left half forward, just an end over end, tumbling ball inside forward 50 for the Saints. Wiedering able to gather and heave it on the right boot to the far wing. Unkind bounce for Fisher. Cripps rose up but couldn't bring it down. Steele Sloon as he kicked the ball, but did get boot to it.
Oh, he's got deliberate.
Has he got deliberate? He was kicking as he was being tackled. He was being slung to the ground. He got rid of the ball as you're supposed to do.
We're still trying to get our head around that one, and we just introduced a few new ones.
Come on. That is as stiff and deliberate as you'll see. Well, that's a strong mark. Howard got rid of his opponent, took a diving mark, took a big divot out, and I can't see he's got a sand bucket, Del. Show and go.
Still feeling like it was a free kick.
Yep. Inside 50, King was the target, it dropped short, and Doherty filled the hole in front of the leading King and took a mark just inside his defensive 50. Called a play on. King did well, forced him around onto his left and then dumped him after he got rid of it, getting back with the flight with Billings. Courageous grab with McDonald bearing down. Far wing, just forward of centre for the Saints. No score in this second quarter. 8-1-49. to 5-1-31. Saints lead. He runs around that man on the mark into the left forward pocket. Battle couldn't take it. Oh, this will be a nice first upper for Higgins. The dribbler running out of real estate in the left forward pocket, slammed into the right goal post. In a way, that would have been to introduce yourself to your new fans, Del.
Yes, and it probably wouldn't have been in his top 10 goals either.
Here's an example of the new goal square rule. Sard could come a long way out of it. Found Cripps on a searching lead far side. He releases his co-captain in Doherty, who can have 3 bounces down the far wing. Can runs his full measure, puts it over the head of McDonald, who's got to get back and put some pressure on Caulfield as he takes the ball out of play, maybe a little nonchalantly. He might consider himself lucky not to have been pinged there, Del. Just seeing the ball over.
I think we're all our attention's going to the other new rules that have been introduced. We might just relax on a couple of the others.
Sure. Paul Hunter, who had some good moments in that first quarter. Good battle with Mark Pitnet and did kick a goal as well. Ball goes back out of play, so 45 metres around from the right point post at the Blues end, inside their forward 50. Pitnet and Hunter. Pitnet just slapped at goalwood. Billings was there, just jammed it onto the right boot. Cripps was under some pressure from Loney, dropped the mark, but found it again, fed it back to Kerno. High, up and under, almost roof-hitting ball that no one could actually mark, even though they had an eternity to wait for it. Hunter Clark rifled out a handball just in hope. Billings was there. He's got the new co-captain in Steele, who caressed a left foot ball onto the chest of a teammate on the far side in Loney, who got it to Higgins, and that's a good mark from McKernan under some pressure from Jones. So just at the left far point of the centre square, lead into the left forward pocket. Battle takes it on the bounce. Doesn't go for goal. Unselfishly back to Higgins over his head. Steele had butted up. He was half tackled as he tried to handball it to Higgins, who slapped it into the path of Hunter Clark. Dow, that was nice. Laced a little needle-threading handball to Fogarty. Now he's got Cripps. Here's the overlap run from Murphy. Centre half forward. Silvani had separation and takes the mark.
Great kick, Murphy.
Leading back towards goal, Oscar McDonald. Ross facing the wrong way. And that's a good mark taken by McDonald, who's had a couple of those. 10 metres out, a couple of metres in from the boundary in the left forward pocket.
Well, let's see how he plays this. So Seb Ross on the mark. A couple of metres from the boundary.
I saw a foot move. He can't move, so McDonald can just improve the angle. And that makes things very easy to step around, snap and goal. So Blues get the first of the second quarter. Margin back to 13 points, 50 plays, 37 for Tyre Power, your trusted tyre experts.
And you'd expect most players to kick that goal anyway, but just once again, he just has a little bit more time and definitely more space to be able to come out onto his preferred foot and snap that across the body with no one having the ability to cut across him and try and smother it.
People complain games are too low scoring. We get a high scoring game and people complain. Go figure. FYI, it is a practice match. Let's all settle.
There was nothing wrong with the game. Leave it alone, Sam.
Measured response off the text 0433 98 11 16. AFL Nation for the McCafe barista made coffee.
Callum Moore coming on to the ground for the Blues for his first run, number 45.
So delisted at the end of last year, and then a train-on player at the moment, looking to get another chance with the Blues. A former Tiger as well. Pitnet, Hunter forced the contest. Cripps just a Superman handball, couldn't release Walsh. Williams slices through to take possession. Now to Cripps on the bounce. Has Walsh on the drive-by, just not enough elevation on the kick, and Ross takes the intercept mark, gets it going quickly. Hunter Clark, that's a clever move. Bradley Hill, look at the power running through the middle. Wobbling kick on the bounce, good gather steal. Now they've got runners. Sinclair was being confronted by Jones. Hill's run on. Hill can snap. Couldn't let it go, did Gresham. In fact, it's Higgins who took the mark. It's paid in the goal square. And he'll go back and slot through. You'd think the Saints first of the quarter, they're ninth for the game.
That is exactly why they pay Brad Hill the money that he does.
Higgins just turns it around on the left foot. Goal umpire didn't have to do a lot of work there. 9-2, 56 the Saints, 6-1, 37. And whether you like it or not, we're really seeing wave running, overlap rundell, handball receive. There's a real flow about it.
Yeah, it is beautiful to watch. And you see this, or we saw this in glimpses last year from some of the very good teams, or the teams that weren't great with their team defence and slow to react. What we're seeing tonight is the ability to take the game on, to run through aggressive parts of the ground, through the half-back line, cut back through the middle. But then the flow-on effect from that, Sam, is the options you have forward of the football. You've got multiple options, opposed to being pinned up against the boundary line and going long down the line. Jack Higgins, he was a massive Saints supporter as a junior. One of his favourite players was Farron Ray, believe it or not. And now he wears the famous number 22.
Which has been worn by such dignitaries as
Aaron Fiora,
Nathan Brown. Blues quickly out of the middle.
Just a side note, if you could pick any player as your favourite during that era that Farron Ray was at the football club, would you pick Farron?
Are you taking a little umbrage?
No, I'm just a curious question. Of all the options that you had, would Farron be in your top 25?
That might be a deliberate against Carlton. And won it back on the far wing. No, just kicking.
Turnover.
Touch. Webster has given it straight back. So Walsh just backward of right half forward. Again, taking advantage of that man on the mark, not being able to move. Presenting with Silvani, getting caught out of position. Wilkie almost the mark. Gang tackling is Fogarty and Silvani, whose pressure time and time again has been noticeable. Hunter Clark gets up with ball in hand and will have it thrown up 40 metres out directly in front of the Blues goal. Sinclair, clever little give. There's Tom Highmore getting his first possession. We spoke about him a little earlier. Ignored in 3 drafts. Finally got a chance with the Saints. Their second pick in last year's draft. Higgins in some space. Able to just stretch clear of Walsh. 2 to beat. Had Steele. And the 2 are going to win out. Setterfield made it a 3-on-1. Mrs. Petrevsky-Seaton just backward to centre on the far wing. Loops it out a little wider by hand to Setterfield, who's just got a long leg, and Cripps out-muscled McKernan, got to the front spot, just couldn't reel in the grab, and will have it thrown in just backward to right half forward.
Just looking at the inside 50 count to this point, Sammy. The Saints have had 22 and the Blues have had 21.
Harry Mackay rolled the ankle in that first quarter as a precaution, will not come back out on the ground. Confirmation coming through. Thank you, Ross. 6-1-37 the Saints, 9-2-56. 6-1-37 the Blues, 9-2-56 the Saints, who were just working it by hand. Around half back, high up and under ball to the far wing of 2 number 15s in Billings and Doherty. Tangle, and Billings fisted over the line. We'll have it thrown in. Still forward of centre for the Blues. 1 goal apiece in this quarter, so the scoring has slowed, Del.
It has slowed down, and maybe it'll find its level. That first quarter was, they were all fresh. Enthusiasm was up. They were lightning fast, but just calming down a tiny bit to start the second quarter.
Blues through pressure, win it back. Setterfield, a steady kick normally, but that misses Silvani. Webster leads the foot race, and they'll both see it out. Right half forward again for the Blues off the text. Come on, Dell. Nearly half time and you haven't bagged out the other Higo once. Lift, Nick. That's from Chris.
That's Sean Higgins Chris is referring to. There's plenty of time. Sean Higgins will get what he deserves.
Not another Bendigo boy friend of yours. The man I know as well, Chris Bell, is it?
Yes.
Is that him on the text?
No, it's a different one, I'm assuming. Well, Higo's trying to play for every football club before he finishes up.
There you go.
That's his chance.
Jones, good intercept mark in front of Membry. I'll slow it down again. So the pace has come off it a little bit in this quarter. We've seen some good end-to-end stuff, but it's been tempered by some methodical ball movement as well. And standing underneath one was McKernan. Couldn't clunk it in the end. Williams, good tackle on Hunter Clark. The ball spills to Fisher. Shaped up to go right. Came in with a tumbler on the left. Right forward pocket. Ball in dispute. Howard got a little handball clear from the McDonald tackle. And there's a little push and shove. Wilkie, Cripps, Sinclair. You sort of got to get involved when you've got a mullet. It's expected.
Part of the prerequisite.
You'll enter a fracas.
Yep. And Cripps has gone forward. He's going to play as a permanent forward. Getting matched up by Wilkie.
Driving tackle from Williams to Gresham. Umpire gives himself a hug and says, I'll throw it up 35 metres out directly in front of the Blues goal. They trail by 19 points. Here's Williams again, showing just how elusive and just how dangerous he can be inside forward 50. Got to the front spot of the rock contest again. Quick gather and snap. He got 2 now.
Almost exactly the same as the one he got in the first quarter.
Yep.
And that's alarm bells for the Saints. Of the 7 goals kicked by the Blues to this point, 4 of them have come from forward 50 stoppages, almost exactly the same as that one. Oh, it's really well played by the Blues. That's exceptional forward craft, great ruck work. And as a result, Williams is going to go to full forward.
So we've said it a couple of times, but if you've just joined us for the first time on AFL Nation for the McCafe Barista-Made Coffee, the first... Well, what would you say? It was the first bounce of this game. Ball was fed back to Hunter Clark, and he was ironed out by Zach Williams,
who left the ground and made contact.
Yep.
And Hunter Clark came from the ground.
Has continued playing.
Did come from the ground, I'd say, within 30 seconds to a minute after that bump. Just a little halt in play as the Blues were doing an interchange and didn't get their 6-6-6 sorted.
Oscar McDonald now into the ruck, the former D, who's had some good moments in his quest for a stay towards the end of a new contract to stave off the end of his AFL career, getting a chance to impress with the Blues tonight.
So Oscar McDonald currently doesn't have a contract with the Blues, is that what you're saying?
That's my understanding. I'll get confirmation of that. I'm being told he doesn't.
Well, he's been good so far.
Ball spills to the back of the pack as the Saints go inside forward 50. Zach Williamson. There's the co-captain Doherty inside his defensive goal square, but Butler was lurking with intent. Gresham lit a looper over the top. Clever from Loney to not take possession to a low handball. He just threw the right slipper at it and was able to connect. And he puts it through. The Saints have got 10.
So that forward half pressure, but in particular the forward 50 pressure. Just the inability to hit the target as they try to go across goal, the Blues. And this is what teams do to you. They prey on those missed handballs, kicks. Sinclair sweeps on it. They do love getting in front of the football at the right time, the Saints. Loney gets his second from the goal line.
So give me some of the fresh faces for either side that are impressing you, Nicky Del Santo, for rolled, fast, fresh Vietnamese.
I have to say, I've liked Hunter in the ruck. He's been, I mean, even that first contest that he had, then I think the second or third, he rolled forward and got his hands on the football. A few plays in new roles. I mean, Higgins has worked his backside off. You can see him, along with the other small forwards, putting on extreme pressure, then on turnover, trying to get forward of the footy.
Zach Williams with a couple of goals as well. Fresh faces for rolled, family-made Vietnamese, served fast and fresh.
Brad Crouch hasn't done a great deal to this point.
There we go from Hunter, who releases the skipper in steel. Kings dropped the mark about 15 metres out directly in front. Petrevski-Seton just harassed his way back into possession of the ball, was able to find his feet and find a teammate in Setterfield, who again took the mark and copped the treatment. Little ear massage from Battle, sliding in to take the mark. In the right back pocket was Sam Walsh, and he just tried to drop it into a path for Petrevski-Seton and put it out of bounds on the full. Second in their best and fairest last year was Sam Walsh, so it was a year where those players, the Wiederings, the Walshes, Plowman was top 5 in their best and fairest. Cripps was 9th, so that was a big plus for the Blues. And there is Wiedering just scrubbing a kick out of defensive 50. Silvani swooped on it. Nice gather. Got it to Curnow. Now here comes the run of Paddy Dow off half-back. Knocked often for his kicking, but that was pretty good out in space to Nunes. It was the defensive work of Hunter Clark that was a bit better. He's able to gather. Got it to Steele. There's Thomas Highmore, who's getting involved. Saints have got runners through the middle. Hunter Clark kept moving. Put on the handbrake. Paddy Dow flew right by. His kick to Hunter, not paid. And not 15, so Sinclair, who butted up, was able to just to hack it inside forward 50. Gresham stayed down when others flew, and he dribbles it through. Just showing how dangerous they are in that small forward category, Del. Saints have got 11 on the board now, just 2 behinds, and they've got a 25-point lead with 17 minutes played in the second term for Tyre Power, your trusted tyre expert.
They are exceptionally fast on turnover. You watch the way that the Saints push back to support their defence along the half-back line, but they're almost praying or just waiting for that ball to eventually be turned over. As soon as they see it, they work their way through the centre of the ground, create opportunities. Some nice composure and calmness as well from Hunter Clark. Get that ball forward. You feel like when the ball goes forward, Sammy, the Saints have got 1 or 2 extra small forwards that don't have a man on them, and it becomes checkers. They just overlap the ball until they eventually get to the goal line, and it's a tap-in.
Head count, you're calling?
It's a sign of work rate as well. And I'm not saying necessarily to this point that the Blues have been poor. The Saints just are off to the races as soon as there is a hint that the ball's going to get turned over.
I reckon that's the biggest lead of the evening. Hunter again flying high in the ruck and palmed it down nicely to Ross, who just lost out on front spot to Sam Walsh, and then he took him around the neck, and Walsh gets a free kick. Oh, now I didn't know where the umpire called play on before Ross went off the mark there. Putting it inside forward 50 though is Walsh, and Wilkie comes out, takes the intercept mark strongly in front of Zach Williams. And now on the spread to Caulfield. He had a good year last year. 5th in the Saints best and fairest. Another one of those high draft picks. It took a little while to get going, Dell, but now showing that it was worth the wait. Gresham read it nicely because Hunter was able to shepherd out the man. He finds Loney. Looping left-handed handball to a running Ross who had no one with him, so he could run his measure and put it to the top of the square. Brilliant. Getting back with the flight of it was Setterfield. If he didn't take that mark, it was a certain Billings goal.
Spot on, Sammy. That was great off-ball running. He'd come from the far side.
50 metres.
Against Billings, I believe. He must have moved on the mark.
Well, I think maybe a hair went out of place and thus he'd gone off his line.
It's going to be hard for us to see it as well at times as well, because it is so subtle.
And we're watching the ball. So they spread to the near side. Wiedering. Low stab pass to Petrevski-Seaton just forward of centre.
That's
alongside the line of the centre square, and you heard it from Nicky Del Santo. Beautiful kick.
Really well weighted. It's found Jack Noon's 40 from goal, 45-degree angle.
Well, we know the angle won't worry him.
Yeah, a little bit simpler than that one from the hot dog stand.
Against Freo last year. I had the pleasure of calling that, and he had to battle the angle and the cameraman. Well, the security guard, I think it was.
Did a little bit of landscaping from memory, didn't he?
Yes, had to kick some cords out of the way. Had to ask first politely and then more assertively for the security guard to move. And he provided one of the great moments, probably the second best goal ever kicked after the siren. And this one, easy as you like. Have I mozzed him? Yep. It was shaping to come back from right to left, and then just held its line the moment I opened my stupid mouth. Hit the post. 7-2-44. Would that be the right call, do you reckon, that it's probably the second best goal kicked after the siren in terms of difficulty? Blighty, obviously.
Obviously? Blighty's was good. It's getting further every year how far Blighty kicked it.
I think it's from the...
Next time we hear it, he kicked it at a full back.
Yeah. Here's the overlap running again. Gresham was smart to release Hill, who said, come at me, come at me. And Loney obliged, slides in on his knees and takes the mark on the lead, 40 metres out, almost directly in front, and that's where they're going to be so damaging, Dal. The Saints in space, and especially with the ball in the hands of Brad Hill.
Yep. He picks the right options, and with his speed and his ability to evade tackles, he gives himself time and always, well, more times than not, picks the right option. He's up to 11 disposals.
Let us know on the text. The best goals ever kicked after the siren, just in terms of difficulty. I've got Nunes at number 2 last year. Loney just snuck it in from the set shot. Reckon he's got 2 or 3 now, Loney. He's got 3.
3 straight.
So
2 from the goal line and that one.
12-2-74, the Saints, 7-2-44, 30-point margin on the scoreboard for Tyre Power, your premiership favourite for Toyo Tyres, AFL Nation for the smooth barista-made coffee from the McCafe, available 24/7.
You asked me before about new players that have impressed me to this point. I'd have to put Oscar McDonald in that category as well. Touched on him a few times.
Yep, he's
fighting for a list spot. He hasn't done a great deal wrong tonight. Like the way he's presented the football when being fought. He's kicked a goal.
2 goals from 5 kicks and 3 marks.
Not a bad return.
Fresh faces for Rolled Fast, fresh Vietnamese.
12-2-74, plays 7-2-44. Good kicking as well. Sammy, good kicking makes good football.
Saints going still at 84% disposal efficiency.
It's not right. It is not right.
There's Hunter getting involved again. Just scrubbing a kick out from the restart. Saad missed his intended target by hand. We know he'd rather run and kick. Williams walking the tightrope brilliantly. Had about a centimetre to work in. Was able to step around the attempted Webster tackle to right half forward. Webster caught behind. Walsh gets to front. He tried to play for the free kick and Saints had the numbers. Martin couldn't take the mark on the far wing. Intercepts Oloni. Tried to craft something out of nothing. Off the ground, he tried to kick it into space for Crouch to run onto. A little audacious. We'll have it thrown in.
you normally have one or two players that have a bit of an extra license to be creative on a football field. I reckon the Saints, if you ask the players individually, 8 of them would say, I think that's me in this team.
Do you think the coach actually needs to actually give that out officially? Hand out, if there's 3 licenses, get all the boys in. Boys, here are our 3 licenses for this week.
And you get a bit of a feel for it in most reviews when the coach pulls up, 18 or 19 players, but 3 sort of slip through the guard a little bit. But I think there's about 8 small forwards for the Saints that all think that they are the man.
Addy Dower high up and under. Saints again, numbers, ducking the head was long. Umpire kept the whistle away. Nunes intervenes. Walsh, lovely sidestep. Little chance here. Moore was unselfish. Give to Murphy. Could have given it to Fisher or Murphy. They could have raffled it. Winning ticket, Murphy. Goal on the line there. And the Saints concede their 8th goal. Carlton have 8-2-50. St Kilda 12-2-74. 24 points now the margin with almost 24 played. Second term, the cafe. Barista-made coffee. That's on the scoreboard for Tyre Power. You trust the tyre experts.
Once again, a nice passage of play by the Blues. The forward handball. Maybe this is the new trend, because there's often a trend that comes in each year. Maybe this is the one. The surge the ball forward and get multiple numbers in front of the football. Wasn't that long ago we called that cheating and getting ahead of the football at the wrong time? Now it is being called
sheepdogging.
No,
are you saying there's sheepdogging?
Now it is called, Sammy, reading the play really, really well. Like 4 or 5 possessions before it actually gets there, reading it that well.
I know a lot of blokes at your old club, Sandhurst, that wish that term was around back then. Hello to you, Whitey. Mark Pitnet into the middle. That's another win in the ruck contest from Paul Hunter, 200 centimetres. Now here's a bit of congestion, which we haven't seen a hell of a lot of in this game. Ball bobbling around. Crouch extricates it and then thumps it high up and under to right half forward. King, he might have tripped Nunes there, but umpire didn't quite see him. Petrevski-Seaton tried to craft the kick around the corner to Cripps, who had to camp underneath it, and Steele made him earn it. Fisted away from him. Brilliant gather and spin from Loney. Release it to Higgins. That was lovely. Unselfish Higgins. A running Butler on the left. The Butler didn't do it.
Too easy. Mucked around with it.
15 metres out, almost directly in front on the non-preferred.
Well, just to put this game into context, Sammy, there's been 20 centre clearances and there's been 19 stoppages around the ground.
Big fist from Howard over Williams, and the Saints have won it back. Battle, little grass cutter inside. Butler helps Doherty over the line. He was number 1 in the competition for tackles inside 50 last year, Dan Butler. He kicked more goals than any other small forward. Still somehow not an All-Australian. You can't get a better year from a forward pocket, can you? That's exactly what you're supposed to do. Kick goals, lay tackles. Here he is again, winning a hard ball.
Who was the small forwards that made the All-Australian team, out of curiosity?
Liam Jones, and then... it's not Liam Jones. Liam Ryan, and then midfielders.
Liam Ryan had a great year. Nothing wrong with that.
No disrespect to Liam Ryan.
Just all the midfielders that clogged up the other 5 spots.
Fisher, too nimble of foot for McKernan. Easily works a way around him. Well won, though, by Wilkie. That's nice from Tom Highmore, the draft pick, to get out of danger and find the skipper with a centering ball back into the middle. Has Webster running past him. Plowman did well. Hit it full-chested. Wins the ball. Setterfield wasn't able to get the fist to the ball to do the most simplest of skills under no pressure. He's coughed it up. Loney for 4. Snap on the left, and he maybe had options by hand, and I mean no disrespect, of course, to Will Setterfield. It was just one of those blooper moments.
Jack Martin hands on the footy, just coming up for disposal number 3. So he's had a quietish start to this game. Looks like he's going to be pushing up into the midfield, though.
Treski-Seaton, low kick, runs on and gets it back from Fisher. That's a neat ball to Nunes, 49 metres out, just inside the arc, and his kick is well weighted to Murphy leading across, just the required. And he'll go back and have a shot from about, the man on the mark's about 35 metres on a 45 angle, a bit tighter, so don't know if that was the full 15, Del.
Well, I'd suggest this kick from Murphy, he won't even be kicking over the man on the mark. It's Ben Long on the mark, who's directly in line with him. But as the player makes their arc, as Murphy is now, he doesn't even kick over the mark.
Came around a little bit to the right, and he's going to put it across the face. It'll go all the way to the line and stays in play. Saints with numbers. Wilkie probably could have kicked, but he gave it to memory by hand. It was under a bit of pressure. Webster just hacked it On the left, 45 angle. King couldn't mark. Wiedering pushes him out, but the ball stayed in. Now it's out. Murphy lent a helping hand and just forward to the interchange on the near side wing. We'll have it thrown in. 8-2-50 the Blues. 12-4-76 the Saints. We played 28 minutes second term for Tyre Power, your trusted tyre experts. This is AFL Nation for the McCafe Barista Made Coffee. Sam Hargraves, Nick Del Santo, 0433 98 11 16. The text line is open on AFL Nation for Saints fans, Blues fans, footy fans. Let's hear your thoughts, whether it be rule changes or positive signs or negative ones for the teams that you're looking at and listening to this evening. Dow did well as he was being tackled to find a running teammate in Walsh, who left the ball behind. Saints have got numbers to take it away from right half-back, and it's Hill who's been really busy in this game. Gave McKernan every chance with the ball out in front, but Jones worked him underneath it. Plowman wanted the line, found it, but will he be pinged? No.
Just watching Max King, he's just had the 3 disposals, kicked the first goal of the game. Actually been happy with his body work. Looks like he's put on a bit more size, which he definitely had to do over the summer.
What's he being listed at this year? 97 kilograms.
He's got a tough task in Jacob Wiedering, who's manning him up. I've enjoyed his body work. He hasn't clunked him yet, but he's put himself in the right position.
Did you love, speaking of Wiedering, did you love the praise he gave Jones as Higgins skips away right half forward, tried to angle the kick back, and just sitting on top of the footy and being tackled? He's Plowman.
Fortunate not to get hold of the ball there. That clearly hit the ground before it got to him.
He just laid on it. McKernan, Pitnet. Little underhand slap from Pitnet. Oh, that's some kind of finish. Billings all the way to the line. Left foot snap. Wiedering luckily charged back and got a fingertip to it. Geez, he got some purchase from 45 on a quick snap, Dale.
Doherty taking advantage of that new kick-in rule. Runs straight up the middle unopposed.
They spread to the far side. Walsh put it out in front of Oscar McDonald. So again presenting. I reckon that's 4 or 5 marks now for the former D.
Speaking about Jack Billings, I still feel like he's got more in him. High draft pick going back. Geez, it'd have to be 6 or 7 years now, I reckon. He's become a really solid player. He's in their leadership group. Just feel like there's still another level for him to go to.
Right half forward for the Saints. Membry got out the back, but Silvani said no. Right half forward for the Blues, rather. Ed Curnow off a standing start to the right forward pocket, where that's a big ask for Paul Hunter in a one-on-one with Patrick Cripps, but he got an important fist on it and about 3 metres around from the right point post. We'll have it thrown in for the Blues. Trailing by 27 points. Tyre Power, your trusted tyre expert scoreboard. Ball thrown in. Hunter again made it a 50-50 in the battle with Pitnet. Cripps couldn't connect with Walsh. Ball just squirts into the right forward pocket, and Walsh thought he'd kept the ball in as he went out and tried the banana.
Tim Embry's gone right behind the football. He's gone from the full forward line. He's now standing on the goal line all by himself.
AG says the quarter lengths are too long. Shorter quarters from last year were just right for my liking. And off the text, where's Harry Mackay? Rolled the ankle in the first quarter. Precautionary measures. He's been taken off and will take no further part in this game. James Frawley did a hamstring. Silvani finds a way through. Double-handed drop, just slammed it onto the right slipper from about 15 metres out directly in front, and he gets the Blues 9th.
Credit where credit is due. That is goal number 5 as a forward 50 stoppage for the Blues. 5 of their 9 goals have come from stoppages in the forward 50. To put that in perspective, if you give up 1 goal a game from a forward 50 stoppage, you're not going that well. They've given up 5 as we still have 1:20 to play in this second quarter.
And the reward for effort for Silvani, who's been doing a lot of the harassing work, a lot of the chase, the pressuring, the tackling inside forward 50. That's probably an area where we spoke about earlier that last year Blues were 4th in the competition for inside 50s per game, but only 10th in the competition for goals. So it's a couple of things that you mentioned, Dal, but it's also the fact that it means the ball's coming out of there too easy. So it's a big role that he's got to play for them this year.
And you speak about Silvani's work rate. It's great to see it in person again because he does a lot of the hard stuff. The easy part's getting your hands on the football and getting a couple of easy goals. He does everything else really well.
Pitnet and Hunter go at it again. Pitnet won that, and now it's going to come back to him.
It's well done for dropping the football.
I thought he kicked it because the ball's about 50 metres away from where he was, so I just assumed that he kicked it. But did he hit the ground before he kicked it?
Must have been a good drop kick.
Clark, that's going to go all the way to the line. Big fist from Jones over the back. No front and square. Crummers for St Kilda, so Max King has to go back and get it. There's Hunter doing some good work. Well tackled was Billings. Ball spills. Ross, can he get enough angle on this around the corner on the left? Yes, he can. 40 metres out directly in front, but he was pretty much facing the wrong way when he boot the ball. That's a good finish. 13 goals now for the Saints. 13-5-83. St Kilda, the Carlton 9-2-56, and this quarter's going 33 and change, Del.
Yes, these games are going to go for it. It does feel different. I mean, that text just came through saying they felt like the last year's time was a bit more, probably viewer-friendly, it must be said. Let's put it that way. It's a nice way of putting it. But this is the normal. What we're seeing right now is what we've known for the last, 100-odd years, whatever the particular number is. Saints have put 13 goals on the board. I mentioned it earlier. They put 22 goals, 140 up against the Kangas last week. We're on track for it again.
I'm happy St Kilda support, a very good sign. St Kilda will be a top 4 team and a premiership contender in 2021.
Jack. Good on you, Jack from Elwood.
The lid's off.
Just need one of the players to mention the word finals, and we'll just see how that finishes up.
Saints will get another clearance. Important fist from Sard to knock it away from Higgins, who recovered well, kept his feet and went back in to try to win it again. Sard wearing him well. Somehow Battle got it to Higgins. Quickly onto the right boot. Ed Curnow got back, took the mark, had it knocked out of his hands by Billings. Speaking about Billings earlier, and it's going to be spoken about for his whole career, being taken ahead of Marcus Bontempelli and everything he's been able to do. And it just seems that every year, every couple of years, there is that player who will just always be compared to the player who exceeded, probably shouldn't say exceeded expectations, but Bontempelli was a bolter in the draft. He was taken well ahead of where a lot of people thought he
now
would.
a bargain.
Yep. There's the siren. So the high scoring continues. The free-flowing nature of this game rolls on. Saints got 5 goals in that quarter and Carlton got 4. So 22 kicked for this game. 13-5-83 the Saints. 9-2-56 the Blues on the scoreboard for Tyre Power. Your trusted tyre experts. Tyre Power, your premiership favourite for Toyo tyres. And some of the fresh faces doing some good things to excite the Blues and the Saints fans for rolled, fast, fresh Vietnamese. Sam Hargraves, Nick Del Santo with you. This is the AAMI Community Series on AFL Nation for the McCafe Barista Made Coffee.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for Tyre Power. Kick straight with free 5-minute safety check.
This footy season, the competition is wide open. When you're travelling on the wide open roads over the holiday period, ensure your tyres are 100% safe with Tyre Power. The massive Easter sale is on now, and Tyre Power has you covered for tyre safety. Buy 3, get 1 free on selected passenger and SUV Toyo tyres. And like your team kicking a goal to win, the free 5-minute tyre safety check offers tremendous peace of mind. Find your local independently Aussie-owned Tyre Power at tyrepower.com.au.
Want to win free coffee for an entire year? That's a lot of lattes. Just order a McCafe coffee on the My Macca's app for your chance to win. There are 25 winners every day. But hurry, limited time only. Ends 23/03/21. Visit mcdonalds.com.au/coffeecomp for full terms.
New car sales are hot, and for a quality SUV or ute at a value price, check out Havel GWM at Astoria, Bentley East. The new GWM Cannon Ute has 4-wheel drive, dual cab, auto, diesel, and only $33,990 drive away. Havel SUV auto models are from only $22,990 drive away, and all have 7 years warranty. Plus, we need your trade-in, and we'll pay good money for it. Astoria Havel GWM, North Road, Bentley East, LMCT 10901.
Hello. Over 2 years ago, National Tiles permanently slashed the price of Australia's largest selling tile from $25 to under $10 per metre every day of the year. 2 years on, National Tiles price is still under $10 every day of the year. Go to our website now to see for yourself why National Tiles is renowned for having the guaranteed lowest priced quality tiles in Australia. every day of the year.
This radio station endorses the commercial radio codes of practice, which have been registered by the Australian Broadcasting Authority. The codes relate to taste and decency, accuracy and fairness in news and current affairs, advertising, Australian music content and complaints handling. Copies of the codes are available by contacting this radio station or Commercial Radio Australia on 02 9281 6577. If you feel a code of practice has been breached and you wish to register a complaint, your complaint should be made in writing. See the complaints section at sen.com.au.
The All-Star Mile is back Saturday, March 13. It's a race like no other because you choose the horses, so be trackside at the Valley on race day to cheer your All-Star horse on. Don't miss your race and your win. The All-Star Mile, Saturday, March 13 at the Valley. Tickets are on sale now. Book online today at thevalley.com.au. thevalley.com.au.
Hungry Jacks NBL 21. Expect superstars. Expect fierce rivalries. And expect non-stop entertainment.
Golding, the take, the shoot, the three!
Get ready for the big show. The NBL Cup is heating up in Melbourne. All 9 teams, 36 action-packed games, one winner of the inaugural NBL Cup trophy. On now. All game days are double headers. GA tickets are only $10 plus booking fee. The NBL Cup. Get $10 GA tickets now at nblcup.com.au.
Hello, I'm Roy Sanderson from RJ Sanderson and Associates. Is 2021 a time to consider appointing a new tax agent for you or your business? Take the stress out of tax and contact rjsanderson.com.au.
As part of Victoria's Big Build, we're upgrading the Sunbury line. Major track, power and station platform upgrades will allow bigger, more modern trains to run on the line. As we bring the pieces together, buses replace trains between Flagstaff, North Melbourne and Sunbury at various times from the 26th of February to the 10th of March. Find out if you're affected at bigbuild.vic.gov.au. Authorised by the Victorian Government, Melbourne.
You're listening to AFL Nation for McDonald's. Smooth barista-made coffee from McCafe. Available 24/7.
Leading back towards goal, Oscar McDonald. Ross facing the wrong way. I saw a foot move. He can't move, so McDonald can just improve the angle. And that makes things very easy to step around, snap and goal. So Blues get the first. Could have let it go, did Gresham. In fact, it's Higgins who took the mark. It's paid in the goal square. And he'll go back. Higgins just turns it around on the left foot. There's Williams again, showing just how elusive and just how dangerous he can be inside forward 50. Got to the front spot of the rock contest again. Quick gather and snap, he got 2 now, and not 15. So Sinclair, who butted up, was able just to hack it inside forward 50. Gresham stayed down when others flew, and he dribbles it through. Well tackled was Billings, ball spills. Ross, can he get enough angle on this around the corner on the left? Yes, he can. 40 metres out directly in front, but he was pretty much facing the wrong way when he put boot the ball. That's a good finish. 13 goals now for the Saints. 13-5-83 St Kilda, 9-2-56 Carlton, the opening game of the AAMI Community Series on AFL Nation for McDonald's. Smooth barista-made coffee from the McCafe, available 24/7. The multiple goal kickers, Loney has 3 for the Saints, Membry 2. Zach Williams has 2 for the Blues. So does Mark Pitnet and Oscar McDonald, the former D, to be the multiple goal scorers. This is the halftime floor show now, thanks to Choices Flooring.
The Choices Flooring Halftime Floor Show. The Choices Flooring What's Your Lifestyle sale is on now.
Sam Hargraves, Nick Del Santo with you at half-time. Del, that half-time score for Tyre Power, your premiership favourite for Toyo Tyres, 13-5-83. The Saints 9-2-56, so it's been accurate, it's been free-flowing.
Yes.
It's been enjoyable to watch. A lot of run in the legs from both teams.
It has been good viewing, and we saw glimpses of this last year, and we probably thought, oh, that's that beautiful passage of play that we love about the game. We've almost seen an hour of it straight. It has just been open and free-flowing, and we touched on it, and this is going to be the story of, well, it might even go the whole year, is the way that the game will be changed based on the man on the mark literally not being allowed to move. Can't even go backwards. Once he is set, cannot go... Witch's hats. Has to go and stand exactly where he is. Cannot move, otherwise he'll give up 50 metres. From what we've seen so far, and I know it's only a small case study so far, Sammy, it is changing the style of play. And it'll play into the hands of teams like St Kilda that love the fast ball movement, that love to get the small forwards forward of the football and create that overlap run. But it's not like the Blues have been poor at it. They probably just haven't been as good as the Saints in that particular area.
No, just remember last year there was a final where I think was it Port Adelaide and Richmond where each team only kicked 6 goals for the whole game.
Yeah.
Well, the Blues have got 9 on the board.
Yeah, 9 goals,
at half time.
256, and the Saints have put 13-5 up, 83. I've enjoyed it. And I think we need to give it a little bit of time, and it'll settle. It'll find its happy medium about the way that coaches will pull it back, saying, "Hey, we're not giving up 13 goals a half. That's just ridiculous." So we're going to defend a little bit different and get more numbers behind the football, for example. But what we've seen so far, even if you're a Blue supporter, you must be bullish by the way that they've moved the football and their ability to score. Their forward 50 scoring from stoppages is off the charts. As much as this rule is changing, when you kick 5 of your 9 goals from forward 50 stoppages, that's significant.
How is that happening?
It's multiple things. So you've got an inexperienced ruckman in Hunter there. So if you say it's a Paddy Ryder or a Rowan Marshall that have been there for the last...
So Paul Hunter's fault, says Nick Dalsano. Yep.
It just changes the dynamic a little bit. There's even been a couple of those times out of those 5 where St Kilda had their hands on the football and coughed it up, which results in a goal against. And so it should in that particular part of the ground. But once again, take it for what it's worth. Really well done by the Blues to set up in that structure.
Yep.
And it's something that the Saints will be definitely looking at in the next 2 weeks.
And Zach Williams has been the beneficiary of 2 of those,
well,
almost identical.
He's had 10 touches, 2 goals, and also had 5 tackles. So he has been really good.
Would he be the best fresh face for rolled family-made Vietnamese served fast and fresh?
I think he has to be. But we also need to mention that very first passage of play within about 10 seconds. I'll give him 15 seconds where he made heavy contact with Hunter Clark coming out of the centre square bounce, left the ground, chose the bump, and Hunter Clark ultimately came from the ground within a minute.
Yeah, it was as crisp a hit as we see in the modern game.
And I haven't seen many replays, so that's about all I've got for you at this stage. It didn't look great live, I'll put it that way.
So it will be looked at 9-2-56 Carlton, 13-5-83. But Zach Williams, on the positive side, has been very, very good. A fresh face for rolled family-made Vietnamese served fast and fresh. What was the Macca's moment of the first half for you for McDonald's McCafe barista-made coffee?
I'm going to say the ball movement. And you can pick one of probably 10 for the Saints, and you can pick probably one of 4 or 5 for the Blues. I love seeing Brad Hill doing what he's doing, and I touched on it during the call. I think nobody in the competition was impacted on the shortened quarters more than Brad Hill. And what we've seen tonight, the ability, even when he doesn't get the footy, his ability to get up and down and support defence, and then you see him in the forward half as well. Kick to goal. Let's say Brad Hill. I'm just going to isolate it to just Brad Hill ball movement.
So this will be what's tickling the Saints fans pink at the minute.
Yep.
13 disposals. This is exactly
Brad Hill.
This is Brad Hill. 13 disposals, second most on the ground. Doherty and Setterfield have 14 apiece. Brad Hill, 13 disposals, 12 kicks, 1 handball. That's exactly what you want him doing.
Want to see?
84% efficiency.
Yes.
He's had 502 metres gained in a half a foot. He's on track for 4 figures and 5 inside 50s, 2 clearances.
What you just said to me then is exactly why the Saints recruiting staff went out and pinched him from Fremantle. That is exactly what you want from him.
Every KPI that he would be measured on.
I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I did do some of this analysis of him last year. His numbers were below average on even the numbers were last year on shortened games. There was so many games where he had below 15 disposals, and you think about and you see what he's doing tonight, Sammy, and you see the amount that he runs, the amount of times he's actually got space. When he was putting up some of the numbers last year, and I'm talking about disposals, so take that for what it's worth, it just didn't make sense. But what you're seeing tonight, and maybe this has gone too far the other way.
Yeah.
Maybe for a man that's had over 500 metres.
So he's got 502 metres.
Just got to find that somewhere in between.
Doherty's got 323, Setterfield 284, Gresham 282. I could keep going.
Yeah.
Number 1 for metres gained last year, on average per game, was Jaden Short. He averaged 480 in a game.
480 coming off the half-back line, kicking it 75 metres every time he touched it.
Hill's got 502.
Hey, welcome to the pre-season comp. That's exactly what we're talking about.
There we go. Best players so far for you? Just rattle off a few names and numbers for us, if you please.
I have to say, let's start with the Saints. Brad Hill, absolutely. I've been happy with Jack Higgins. I thought he had a bit of a slowish start, but he's up to 13 disposals. Sinclair across the half-back line, I think should be mentioned with a new role. Jack Steele's been okay. And we have to talk about
Brendan
Hunter.
Lade spoke about the fact that he was quiet in the scratch match that they played, I think it was against North
last week. Won by 91 points,
and they've spoken about that. He's got the added responsibility now after an All-Australian year last year, leading them in most statistical categories. He's also got the co-captaincy now with Jaron Geary.
Yep. So not alarm bells, don't get me wrong, but just hasn't stood out like he did for the majority of last year. And for the Blues, I think there's been glimpses from a lot of people. I like Doherty, as we always do across the half-back line. Setterfield's been impressive at times. Sam Walsh just keeps doing what Sam Walsh does. He finds the football and uses it relatively well.
Well, I don't want to be that guy because he normally uses it very well. He's 53% the disposal efficiency for him. He's a couple of passages where he's absolutely laced people out on the run and in space. A couple probably under a bit more pressure.
Well, let's talk about the disposal efficiency. We spoke about the first quarter that was off the charts, but it hasn't dropped down much. So the Saints have had a total of 201 disposals in that half, going at 80% disposal efficiency, and the Blues have had 167 disposals, going at 77%. There has never been a better time to be an AFL footballer. They hardly train, they have shortened pre-seasons, get paid a fortune, and then you roll out and no one puts any pressure on you.
You'll throw it back in my day in a minute.
What more do you want as an AFL footballer? If you are a youngster coming into the competition now and you can find the football, hey, happy days. You've got a good 15 years ahead of you.
Absolutely. And the inside 50 efficiency too. I mean, we do want to see goals kicked. Saints, 53%. They've had 18 shots from 34 entries. 44% for the Blues, which is an area that they're looking to improve this year. 12 shots from 27 inside 50s. So we'll come back and keep working our way through this. Get involved, 0433 98 11 16. Give us your view on what you're hearing at the moment, what you're liking and not liking about the way these two teams are going about it. Who's impressing you? Who's exciting you? We want to hear from you. 0433 98 11 16. That was the halftime floor show. Thanks to Choices Flooring. This is AFL Nation. From McDonald's to smooth barista-made coffee from McCafe, available 24/7. Second half at Marvel Stadium is up after this on AFL Nation.
You're listening to AFL Nation for McDonald's. Smooth barista-made coffee from McCafe. Available 24/7.
It's Tyre Power's massive Easter sale with more great deals on big brand tyres. At Tyre Power, you'll get the power of our giant giveaway on Toyo tyres. Simply buy 3 and we'll give you 1 free on a great range of Toyo passenger car and SUV tyres. That's right, buy 3 and get 1 free on selected Toyo tyres at Tyre Power. Conditions apply. See website or in-store for details. Tyre Power's massive Easter sale is now on. Visit tyrepower.com.au or call 13 21 91 for your local owner-operator.
On Sunday, March 14, the country is back and racing strong at the Jack Hirsch Yarra Valley Cup. Grab your mates or the whole family and support the local community with a day that's got it all.
Back where we belong, country racing strong.
Early Bird GA is just $15 per person online or $20 at the gate. Yarraview dining from $70 per person includes a 3-course meal and admission.
It's got it all.
Go to country.racing.com/Yarra Valley to book now.
Hello, welcome to Bank.
Hi, I've just seen an ad for Athena Home Loans Accelerates where they lower your rate the more you pay down your loan. Do you do that?
Why on earth would we do that? People would pay to their mortgages faster.
Well, yeah, I think that's the point.
No, the point of a home loan is to make the bank money.
Is that all you guys care about?
What do you mean by care?
Switch at athena.com.au and the more you pay down your loan, the more we'll lower your rate so you can pay off your home loan faster. Athena, love us and leave us. Standard credit criteria, terms, conditions and government charges apply.
You know, cooking can be so tedious.
Which is why we know.
A couple of days ago, this ad was still being written, and today it's reaching millions. In uncertain times, you can maximise your advertising by maximising the speed and flexibility of radio. Because right now, the one thing you need in your marketing plan is the ability to change it. For speed to market that gets results, visit radiolive.com.au.
G'day, it's Russell Robertson here letting you know Fight MND's Socket to MND round is back on June 19 and 20 in 2021. And the socks are on sale now. Whether you play football, netball, soccer, hockey, basketball, any sport at all, Socket to MND is open to all clubs around Australia of any age or level. Purchase the famous blue Socket to MND socks for $15 a pair and wear them with pride at your club in 2021. Order now. Head to fightmnd.org.au for more information and let's sock it to MND.
New car sales are hot, and for a quality SUV or ute at a value price, check out Havel GWM at Astoria, Bentley East. The new GWM Cannon Ute has four-wheel drive, dual cab, auto, diesel, and only $33,990 drive away. Havel SUV auto models are from only $22,990 drive away and all have 7 years warranty. Plus, we need your trade-in and we'll pay good money for it. Astoria Havel GWM, North Road, Bentley East, LMCT 10901.
We went searching all over the world for better internet, even the ocean floor. Turns out Better Business Internet was right here. Summit Internet. From just $99, they're 5 times faster than the NBN with Australian phone support. Summit Internet. Better Business Internet.
Want to win free coffee for an entire year? That's a lot of lattes. Just order a McCafe coffee on the My Macca's app for your chance to win. There are 25 winners every day. But hurry, limited time only. Ends 23/03/21. Visit mcdonalds.com.au/coffeecomp for full terms.
Steady. If you've loved watching mini golf on TV, then tee off with the kids or friends at Albert Park Mini Golf and enjoy the challenge of their specially designed 18-hole mini golf course. Kids can grab an ice cream while mum and dad can enjoy a drink while they play. Albert Park Mini Golf fun for everyone. Check out the course and see great specials at albertparkminigolf.com.au.
You're listening to AFL Nation for McDonald's. Smooth barista-made coffee from McCafe. Available 24/7.
Marvel Stadium, both sides have completed their warm-ups in the second half. About to get underway. 9-2-56 the Blues. The Saints 13-5-83. Sam Hargraves, Nick Del Santo with you. Can see Steve Silvani, Joe Silvani in the crowd, watching Jack Silvani, who's having a good game so far. Some questions coming in off the text, 0433 98 11 16. There's a preamble to this text, which we'll read in entirety. Appreciate the positivity about the new rules, but these knee-jerk reactions by the AFL need to stop. Politics aside, how's Dow looking, Paddy Dow, looking after his scintillating form in the intra-clubs?
Paddy Dow is up to 7 disposals, going at 57% disposal efficiency, and he's had the 1 tackle. So not a huge first half from Paddy Dow. As I look out, and he's starting at the centre square bounce next to Walsh and Williams. So no Patrick Cripps. As I scan to the forline, he's going to play a traditional centre half forward looking role.
Cameras just went to Mitch McGovern and double Cobras Casbolt and Eddie Betts, who really enjoying each other's company, all just on their phones.
Welcome to the new world, hey?
And Richmond, Collingwood and Richmond tomorrow night, Marvel Stadium. The good news story for the Pies is that Jeremy Howe will play in that game. Speaking of Paddy Dow, he gets the first clearance of the second half. Williams tracking a ball inside 50, took a wrong break. Walsh is able to collect and kick all in one motion. It'll just go to the right-hand side of the right goal post and slapped over for good measure by Dougal Howard.
Just on mobile phones and the young kids, Sammy. I was once on a training camp overseas, and we were all out for dinner, about a group of 25 of us. One of the young kids went home, left his steak on the table because his phone had run out of battery, went back to the hotel by himself. Is that ludicrous?
I would have delisted that player for leaving a steak.
The coach did it 6 months later. So
actually, I feel bad now. Probably for that, though. I wonder if that was in his exit interview. What did I do, Coach? Well, the steak that you left.
The medium rare with the mustard sauce.
Yes. Onions. Mash. Your phone can wait.
Here's Brad Hill again through the middle of the ground.
Oh, sorry. Straighten up, says Nicky Dallin. I will, and so does Brad Hill. Inside, penetrating kick that Pitney chops off.
It's been good.
In front of Loney, who's got 3 goals in the first half. Petrevski-Seaton has been often the architect off half-back. Has Walsh, and he's released a running Mark Murphy. True centre wing. A little bit carefree on the kick, and it squibs off the inside of the boot. But Silvani's able to gather and re-give to Murphy, who now finds a teammate in front of the eyes of Oscar McDonald, who did some good things. That kick was to absolutely no one in a navy blue jumper. Straight to Jack Sinclair. Drops into the lap of Brad Hill.
Poorly directed that kick and also didn't give it any height. No opportunity for a Carlton forward to even come at the football and make a contest.
Left half back is Caulfield. He just spreads it even further along left half back to Ben Long. Called to play on. Up high, up and under ball McKernan presents. Had it knocked out of his hands. Williams front and centre, first on the scene. He was crunched after he got rid of it by McKernan. Murphy found Sard, and further afield is Nunes. Walsh looked to sell Candy, but saw that he had Silvani further ahead. His kick was partially smothered by Crouch and now in dispute. 15 out from the Blues goal. Just hacked off the ground by Dougal Howard, who got about 50 metres. Just played the boot into that, and Wiedering and Loney see it out of play in front of the Saints interchange on the near wing. We'll have it thrown in. Seb Ross below us, getting some work done on the hamstrings.
Patrick Cripps still playing the deepest forward for the Blues.
Haven't called his name a lot. Hasn't spent a heap of time in the middle. Dow did well. Won the footy, released hands, and Walsh in the process. Oh, Wibbs, look at him. Just craft that kick around the body on the 45. Oh, Silvani got rid of one tackle, and then the second. Can't finish on the left from 40 directly in front. Put it to the right-hand side. One behind, 9-4-58 the Blues. The Saints 13-5-83 for Tyre Power.
Patrick Cripps' numbers to this stage, 9 disposals and 2 tackles. So not a huge influence on the game, but as you mentioned, has played forward probably more than we know him to have last year.
Yeah, that kick out of defensive 50 for the Blues went over the head of Pitnet, and Saab was there to collect, just sort of riding shotgun behind the two big men. Right forward pocket, slapped back into play by Cripps. Nunes was able just to slap it around the corner on the right boot. Up top, in front of the goal square, and directly in front of goal is Martin. He's kicked hurriedly to the left-hand side, out of bounds on the full. So Carlton doing all the attacking early stages of this third quarter. Saints, I don't think, have had it inside 50 yet in the term. And they leave defensive 50 now via the far side. Off hands it came. Dowd just put his head down and almost won it. Walsh did, in fact, and he'll get a free kick as he was taken high by Billings. Doesn't waste any time. Left forward pocket, well done Howard. Got in front of a leading Oscar McDonald and took the intercept mark. Duke's extended.
That was lovely. Came at the football like he was the forward there, Howard. Great grab.
Hung a long time in the air. Did the Higgins kick to Gresham, which gave Setterfield a chance to shut it down. We'll have it thrown in left half forward for the Blues. 14 first half disposals for Will Setterfield. Run again from Hunter. Got front spot and two hands to it. Couldn't connect with a teammate. Dow again. First head over the footy. There's a free kick in the back against Hunter Clark, and it'll go to the man that cleaned him up inside the opening few moments of this game in Zach Williams, who's kicked two. Former Giant. 113 games. That kick was just a little shallow. Mark was dropped by Battle, so Blues a chance here again. Dow flies in. Able to get the handball out of the congestion, and now to Fisher. Can't bounce it through to the left-hand side of the goal post.
Having their opportunities in the forward half, the Blues. One particular area they were really good at last year, keeping the ball in their forward half and turning it over. They're probably similar to last year, Sammy, just inability to score.
Look at this, Dougal Howard taking advantage, just walking the ball out. That kick almost goes to true centre wing on the far side. Strong contested mark taken by McKernan, the former Crowan bomber. Long was going left and then put the right indicator on, and he's put down Plowman.
Yep, it's been turned over. Long just threw him to the ground behind the plate.
So turnover. Murphy on the overlap run. He's got time and space to work in. That's often a dangerous sign. On the bounce to Oscar McDonald, who got separation on Howard, and Silvani had the same on Webster. He takes it and just takes off and takes it all the way to the line and puts it into the second deck. Blues get the first goal of the second half.
Well, it started with great composure from Mark Murphy. He had one-on-ones forward of the football. He had two options, but both of them were being tightly guarded. So he went wide, took McDonald as the easy option on the 50. That just created that moment of space. Silvani doubling back at the football. Webster goes to the ground. Silvani able to waltz almost to the goal line. Little check side. We spoke about a little bit of reward for effort. We touched on him at half-time. He does a lot of the hard work, the selfless leads, the covering or chasing of a St Kilda player coming out of the back half. And then you get a nice couple of easy ones like that, and that's just good to see.
2 goals now for Jack Silvani, playing as a permanent small forward.
So we have a look at his lovely mother and father. Big sauce not that thrilled. Couldn't even get a smile out of him then. Expects more.
Just keeps it reserved. So we're back in the middle. Hunter hunting the footy was just bowled over by Pitnet, who was able to scrub a kick forward. Sinclair got the handball free before he fell over. Long, sort of dodging, weaving, thinking. Over the head of Billings, who recovered the better between he and Setterfield. Now he can get away. Into the far side wing, camped underneath it. Williamson couldn't take the mark. Butler harassing him. Jones steady hands. Walsh turns around the Butler tackle and gave it back to Jones. He can steer a low ball. It was intended for the chest of Cunningham. And Ross had the better of that contest. Sinclair through the middle with Dash. Right to the top of the square. McKernan got a fist on it. Max King, nice take. Max King, even better finish. Left foot snap from 15 out directly in front.
The 202-centimetre key forward, if you don't mind. Picks it up off the shoelaces. Non-preferred football getting tackled. And it all starts from where the Saints generate that turnover from. Where they come through the middle of the ground. Sinclair gets his hands on the football. Multiple options, left or right. Chooses to go straight down the middle to the top of the goal square. When you've got someone like Max King who can get to that position, give the initial lead, not get used, and then double back to be the front and centre target. Finish like that. Thank you very much.
So 24 points that margin now for Robot Building Supplies. Robot's got it, 10-5-65 the Blues. Saints 14-5-89 Robot Building Supplies. Robot's got it. This is the AAMI Community Series on AFL Nation for McDonald's Smooth Barista Made Coffee from the McCafe, which is available, as we know, Del, 24/7.
Handy on the way home.
Absolutely. I can drink a coffee at night, and I can't sleep anyway, so I can have a coffee at night. A strong grab taken centre forward from Josh Battle. He likes that vacant goal square. He set sail from long range. Wiedering pushed back hard, and it was to the right-hand side anyway. Looking for his second, I reckon, Josh Battle. And he's got some claret coming from the right cheek. He'll have to leave the field of play. So goal kickers, Loney with 3, Silvani, Membry, Williams, King, Pitnet, McDonald all have 2 for their respective clubs. Robot Building Supplies, Robot's got its scoreboard. Just taking every bit of available time is Wiedering, who runs every metre of the 15 allowed coming out of the square. Good tackle, Billings on Cripps. But what about the presence of mind and the vision to handball as he's being tackled down behind him to Setterfield, who finds the chest to Murphy, and he's away on the run. Williams, hit up lead from him, just on the far left point of the square. And look at the stab pass low. Good punch from Dougal Howard on Silvani. Long collects, feeds it out to Wilkie. Further afield handball to Higgins. Fans it to the left, and he has the co-captain in Steele. Further left again alongside the square is Gresham in 2 minds, and he'll fan it even further afield. Left half forward, Loney, beautiful pass. Membry on the lead, 45 out, 45 angle, a bit tighter than that.
He's worked over 100 metres to get that ball. Membry started on the far side, was going back to be the deep option. Maybe a little bit of overuse by the Saints coming through the midfield, but then just a nice little duck back up. No opportunity for Liam Jones to get a fist to that.
So has Membry troubled the scoreboard at this stage of the game, Del?
He has kicked 2 goals, 1 to this point.
Actually, yeah, because I just said his name only moments ago. There's my memory. My Membry.
Very good.
See what I did there?
I saw that.
Just some early stuff. Pre-season, you try a few things.
Yes.
It's gone across the face of goal. Now, Pitnet could have marked that, and he didn't quite get full purchase on the 2-handed slap, and thankfully it did go over the line for a behind.
Just a little teaching point or learning point I think that the coaches will raise with this man on the mark again. If you are going to be high on like Liam Jones was and you can't get to it and spoil it, go corridor. Just sacrifice and just set your mark, corridor.
Pack forms on the near wing. Murphy was at the front of it. Couldn't find a teammate by hand. Now the ball's in dispute again. Sinclair came through hard as 2 Carlton players converged on him. Howard can just standing start and drive it inside, forward 50 at the back of the pack. Wiedering, little tunnel ball work was effective. Williamson couldn't keep it in play after Doherty tumbled it to him, and we'll have it thrown in about 45 metres around from the left point post.
Jack Noon's coming from the ground from that centre wing contest. It appears to be right ankle.
Not a good sign. Ball thrown back in. We're inside St Kilda's forward 50. 91-65 lead. Robot Building Supplies scoreboard. Robot's got it. Webster's handball was intercepted by Dow, who in mid-air was able to get it to Murphy, and he in turn to Cripps. On the bounce taken Cunningham, that was crisp, but he gave it straight to Wilkie, who stepped out and will have it thrown in front of the Saints interchange, directly below us in the AFL Nation commentary position for McCafe, Barista Made Coffee.
Oh, he just looking at the replay on Jack Noon's, just got his right ankle caught under as the group of players were coming towards him. His head straight down into the rooms.
Hill was left unattended at the front of that stoppage. Feed it to Ross. We don't often see that dash from Seb Ross, but he runs every bit of his allowance. The kick was just a little shallow. Crouch couldn't take the mark, but Plowman could. So Hill to slow it down. 25 out from his defensive goal. And off he goes around the man on the mark, confronted by Higgins. So he looped the handball to Doherty. He doesn't normally miss a target, and mozzed him. Commentators curse strikes, and it'll be a Saints ball out of bounds on the full. Steele, Hill, don't know if he's had an opponent all game. Another forward 50 for him. Intercept mark is as good as you'll see from Liam Jones. Did you like the Jacob Wiedering, how keen he was to thank Liam Jones for allowing him to play the way that he can?
That ball's turned over
by Wiedering. Oh, and he slips over at the crucial time. Higgins will eat this up every day of the week. And I've mozzed him as well. In the space of 30 seconds, I've mozzed 3 players consecutively.
You need to stop talking.
I can't. It's my job.
Yes. I'll quickly answer that question regarding Wiedering. Absolutely. And absolutely. But that is also the mindset of a defensive group. They speak differently about each other than, say, the forwards would. But he had a really good year, Jacob Wiedering. Really good year.
Fisher bundled out of play, just backward to left half forward as Carlton horseshoe it around Marvel Stadium.
Just some numbers in regarding disposal. Sam Walsh is up to 20. Brad Hill's had 18. Sam Doherty's had 18. Jack Higgins has had 17. And Sinclair has had 17.
Nick Del Sano, Sam Hargraves, AFL Nation. Smooth barista made coffee from the cafe available. 24-7, 92-65. St Kilda lead. The scoring has stopped. Only one goal from both these sides in this third term, and we're up to 14 minutes on the clock. Robot Building Supplies, Robot's got its scoreboard. So this is what we see, Dallin. I want to talk about this when fatigue sets in. So a lot of people want to have their say about less rotations and the game's going to open up and we'll see better scoring and all that kind of stuff. I've asked the question a few times. Name me one thing we do better when we're tired. And I'll let you think on that.
Sleep.
Apart from sleep? Yeah, that's the only thing. The only thing I can think of, and please have your say, 0433 98 11 16. I can't see how skills will be better and accuracy will be better when players are out on their feet, because I don't know what we do as human beings better when we're tired apart from sleep. 0433 98 11 16. Long, just desperate to intercept at full stretch, got a fist on it, and there's Butler in the middle, missed Sinclair by hand, went back with his own mop to tidy up. Caulfield looped it. Hunter Clark, it's Jack Steele involved to Sinclair, and here's Brad Hill again at full run. Oh, now King was coming out on the lead, coming back the other way. Memory, 2 Carlton players down. I think it's Wiedering and Jones. Little snap Higgins, vacant goal square. Loney dropped the mark, had plenty of time to recover and put it through. Saints get their second of the quarter, their 14th of the game, but the story is Wiedering, who's clutching a left knee. Jones is distraught.
Oh, please get up.
No, this is not good at all. Liam Jones is visibly distraught.
They're walking away from him.
Oh, no. Jacob Wiedering is in the hands of trainers, hobbling off. He's going to try and run off.
That's a good sign,
on
Sammy.
his own steam. And he is. He's actually running off unassisted, visibly limping. Well, we were judging our reaction based off the reaction of Liam Jones, and he turned away in anguish, head in hands, and couldn't look. Straight down to the rooms. No, he's actually still on the bench. No, now he goes into the rooms, Jacob Wiedering. So we'll keep an eye and an ear out for any updates from Carlton. But in the meantime, we've got a 5-goal lead, 33 points. St Kilda, Robot Building Supplies, Robot's got it scoreboard. Loney's got 4 in this game. Ed Curnow puts Carlton inside, forward 50. Webster did well to get the good spot on Fisher, who kept his feet down. It luckily spills to him, and he's going to put it through. Opportunistic, but he kept his feet, and he kept himself in the contest, did Fisher. And Carlton respond.
A lovely response and a lovely finish from Zach Fisher, who's sporting one of those fashionable mullets, it must be said.
He started patting the mullet in celebration.
Just a scrappy kick forward. If you can get a couple of these a week, you're ahead of the ledger. That was a lovely finish. While getting tackled, left foot being his preferred. Jimmy Webster goes to the contest, just gets caught out of position. Like good small forwards do. Fisher makes him pay for going to ground. So Mark Murphy's played the whole game as a half forward as well.
How are you seeing that new role? Is it suiting?
Yeah, well, you see with ball in hand that he makes terrific decisions. Got to execute as well, but I've been pleased with him there. It's also in that position where lots of players can also play it. So moved out of the midfield as it currently stands, giving others opportunities, and he can assist the small forwards.
Gresham, clean clearance for the Saints, and another inside 50 entry, but Liam Jones resolute. Nice regather and find Fogarty, the former Cat, on the far side. On the bounce, Cunningham was shut down quickly by Tom Highmore, who showed courage. Hit the ball hard when he knew he was going to be hit hard. And we'll have it thrown in just backward to left half forward for the Blues.
Only called Patrick Cripps' name 11 times. He's now still playing as the deepest forward for the Blues.
Here's where Sard's at his best to tuck the ball under the arm. He'll easily be able to take on Jack Higgins. He runs to 50 and he endears himself to the Carlton faithful, showing exactly why the Blues were so keen to get him. Release and run, and then gun. A long bomb from outside the arc. Couple in a row for the Blues. 12-5-77. 21-point lead now to the Saints. 15-8-98. Almost 20 minutes played. Robot Building Supplies, Robot's got it, and there's a fresh face for the Blues for rolled, fast, fresh Vietnamese Dal.
Well, it's lovely to see Adam Sard turn on the burners. Burns off Jack Higgins coming off the back of that stoppage. Runs to 50. A lovely, lovely finish. That'll warm the hearts of the Blues supporters. But Zach Williams in the middle of the ground having a solid game, a really good game. And Adam Sard, who hasn't seen a lot of the football, but just has moments like that.
We had a question before, Dale, asking what was his disposal efficiency in this game.
Adam Sard, at halftime, he was at 100%. He currently stands at 90, so he's 11 disposals. That was his first goal.
Come on, Adam, lift.
Just a lazy 90.
Dropping. Free kick in the middle. We'll go to Carlton, and it's Oscar McDonald who comes away with it, but it ends up with Wilkie, who took a strong intercept mark, 30 out from his defensive goal. They'll spread to the left half-back side of the ground at Marvel Stadium. Steele in front of Dow takes the mark. And he's just going to slow it down. So a couple of answers to the question, name me one thing you do better when you're tired. Blue with the misses has come through. Stress has come through. Neither of those, I'd say, are positives.
Blue with the misses.
I would disagree with that. My missus is a lawyer. I have to be on my A game if I'm going to win an argument there.
Just go to bed.
Yeah.
Just
the defence rests, Your Honour.
Just fold. I plead the fifth.
Yeah. Yes. Anything I say will incriminate me further.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm going to bed.
Hill, just with all the time in the world, even under pressure, it seems. There's a very few players you can say, even when there's players within arm's reach, still look like they've got all the time in the world. He finds Gresham. He just got underneath that kick, goes very high, and it all parts. It ends up with Callum Moore, who's getting some time on the ground. He does the smart thing and just gets it into the hands of Adam Sard. A couple of bounces into the middle of Marvel Stadium. Handball, Walsh further afield on the left-hand side is Fisher. Steps inside and just couldn't find Williamson. Was able to regather. Fogarty, Fisher had run on. Left forward pocket to Murphy. Great tackle and chase down from Tom Highmore. Quick snap on goal as Fisher stayed involved.
He has.
It just went to the left-hand side. So that is a positive. 3 contests he got to, Fisher. From the far wing to the left forward pocket.
There's no doubt, Sam, that the style of this game has completely changed. Slower passages of play, happy to go back over the mark.
Now, I say he has all the time in the world, Brad Hurley. Got the shepherd from Wilkie. But Lockie O'Brien, who's getting some time in this game now with extended benches, stayed in the chase.
And didn't actually lay the tackle. That's why it wasn't paid holding the ball from, I think it was Cunningham. Actually pushed him off the ball.
Pushed him out of play. Lockie O'Brien, and now we've had it thrown in. So just outside Carlton's forward 50, O'Brien, just a quick drop onto the right boot, and it slewed off the outside of it and went out of bounds on the full. So Saints will get it back. Left back pocket, 23 minutes played, third term. Robot Building Supplies, Robots got it. It's a 20-point lead to the Saints. So just the pace has eased a little bit as Caulfield takes advantage again of that new man on the mark rule. Was able to run around and get the Saints just backward of centre on the near wing. Ball out of play, and we'll have it thrown in again. 98-78. Dan Butler takes a rest. That Swayze mullet just looking lustrous. Fogarty. Oh, dumped was O'Brien after he got rid of it. Same to Dow, but it's at right half forward. Slapped back by Fogarty or Cripps. Look at the strength. Took on a couple. Couldn't quite gather. Long helps out. Big hit from Cripps. Affected the kick. And there's a bit going on behind play.
It's going to go downfield, Sammy. Hill's off.
It was on Crouch. Now Hill releases Gresham. His wobbler finds the chest of Sinclair in front of the Blues bench near wing. That was a strong collision. Cripps on Crouch. Left half forward, big fly from Jones to kill that contest. Loney tried to throw a boot at it where the 50 meets the boundary to keep it in play. Couldn't make contact, and we'll have it thrown in. All fair, that bump, maybe just a little late, that Cripps, but didn't get him high, did he?
No, don't believe so. Good signs for the Blues. Wiedering on the bench, getting some massage.
Sard in a hurry, gets it high and about 30 metres long. Near wing at the back of the pack. Fisher's been reading it off hands brilliantly. He's able to step around and buy time on Ross. Had Fogarty working for him. He was very good to get that handball back into play as he was being taken out of it. Silvani to gather. The show almost didn't go. Clark almost shut it down. Back to Silvani. Little toe poker. Williams is going to kick 3. No. The party tricks have come out for the Blues. And Williams just couldn't finish from pretty much directly in front, 30 metres out.
Almost became a bit too simple for Williams there. Had all the time in the world, straightened up. It was the right choice to go for goal. Just didn't execute.
Saints bring it back very short. Hunter Clark is almost at the tip of the goal square. I don't know if we'll see that a lot this year. The 15-metre man on the mark rule from the kick-ins. Jones again killing the contest and gathering off the ground, just heaving Carlton back inside, forward 50. Free kick against Zach Williams on Nick Caulfield. Left back pocket, Saints regain it. 19-point St Kilda lead. So again, they'll just go long down the line on the near side. King couldn't mark. Pitnet got to the front of it. Silvani might have held Gresham, who did well just to fire it further afield. Loney got it to Higgins, who was dealt with by Fogarty. Jones's handball was partially smothered by Hunter. Little toe poker from King. Walsh finds a way through and out and away from the stoppage. Fisher again in a little bit of space at right half forward. Can loop it over the top to O'Brien. 45 metres out, 45 angle. Lost it in the tackle of Steele. Found it again. Williams got front spot in the marking contest. Saints defence under a heap of pressure. Cripps feeds it back. Fogarty can get his first as a Blue. Slams it into the left goal post from 25 metres out directly in front. Couple of opportunities for the Blues go begging.
How good was it of Sam Walsh on centre wing? Ball bobbling around, missed handballs. He picks it up clean. accelerates out of that contest and finds himself some space. Makes the right option handballing forward.
So Blues winning the quarter 3-2.
That's an interesting kick.
That's going to just stay inside the field of play. O'Brien backpedaling, takes the hit from Ross, but got an important hand on it.
Inside 50 count, 45 apiece.
Blues just working their way back into this one. 18 points, St Kilda lead. Robot Building Supplies, Robot's got its scoreboard. AFL Nation, McCafe Barista Made Coffee. Fisher again inside forward 50. The helicopter ball on the bounce to Silvani, well worn by Webster. We'll have it thrown in about 20 metres around for the right point post. All Carlton at the minute, Dale.
Been very good, kept this ball in their forward half. They've set up really well behind the footy. Saints are pushing an extra up into the contest. Doherty dropping behind the football as the spare.
Martin couldn't take it in mid-air, hit net, kick smothered. Hunter heaves it out of defensive 50. O'Brien overran it and then lost the handle on it. Oh, Loney going back into tackle, copped the high knock. Ball goes out of play at right half forward for the Blues. Another throw in, another stoppage.
Max King's also come from the ground. He's gone down into the rooms. Appears to be a left ankle. We saw the contest on centre wing a couple of minutes ago. Didn't look overly severe, but like most things, just making sure it's nothing too bad.
Jacob Wiedering is back out on the bench as well, sitting with his teammates. So that is a good sign, you'd think, if he was in a really bad way, that he'd be in the tracksuit by now, Dell, but I could be absolutely wrong on that. Geez, Liam Jones has really played well in this quarter. That's about his third or fourth intercept mark, and he won a crucial one-on-one with McKernan. Oh, Jack Martin dropped the easiest of marks, but he's got so much time he can recover at ground level. Crisp handball forward from Fisher. Thinking his way through, he got it back from Cripps and easily stepped around Gresham. Now the entry kick, which is so important. Wilkie did well in the battle with Moore. Lonnie was spun 360 in the tackle. Blues fans wanted holding the ball. Silvani butters up with a strong one of his own to bottle it up. 30 metres out from Carlton's goal.
Well, Zach Fisher has come to life. He's been exceptional in this quarter. He's up to 18 disposals. He's kicked 2 goals, 3. Just when he gets his hands on the football, things happen. He goes at a different pace.
He's exciting to watch tonight. Cripps has been taken in a headlock by Hunter Clark. Umpire hugs himself and says, I'll throw it up. Right forward pocket for the Blues. They've had it a long time in their forward half. The margin is 18 points. It's been out to over 30, I believe, at one point in this match. So they're pegging it back. Billings a nice gather and give to Steele, who was running out of rooms. Had to throw it onto the boot. Membry had it fisted away by Plowman and will have it thrown in again at right half forward for Carlton. So the pace is absolutely changed, Dale. We're seeing more and more stoppages now. We saw very few in the first quarter and the first half. But there's a different tempo noticeably in the third quarter. I reckon that was a throw from Pitnet. Williams couldn't take it with him. Hill went and found it off the deck but gave it straight to O'Brien. Standing start. Silvani got to the front spot. Couldn't take the mark in front of Webster. Saints have got numbers here. Just hacked out by Hunter Clark. Bottom right point of the square. Oh, Butler was surging through. Just left the ball behind. Ross by hand. It was just a little bit to the right of Billings, who went back in and got it and got taken high by Williams. And Plowman dumped Loney, who was off. And he's hurt himself too, Lockie Plowman. He's limping noticeably, the former Giant.
Not long to go in this third quarter.
I think it might just be cramped because he's staying out there. Billings' kick was taken on the bounce, who gave it back to Billings. And he's got a case of the fumbles. So Loney just had to stab it along the boundary. Slapped out of the hands of Hill by Plowman. We'll have it thrown in front of the interchange.
Looks like in the last 10 to 15 minutes, the pace has changed because they look so fatigued all of a sudden. Happy to go back behind the mark. Don't want to take the game on as much through the middle of the ground. It's completely changed the dynamic of the game.
Pitnet just tried to thump it as far as he could. Didn't get much contact at all. It spills to Hill. Stewie got to be quick. Out of nowhere came Fogarty. Ball spills. Crowd wanted holding the ball, but Carlton win it back. Cunningham slides, gathers, taken though by Clark. Clean hands from him off the deck. Long will find a teammate in Caulfield. He'll spread to Gresham at left half back. Siren sounds. That quarter was all Carlton. Fans don't like the non-call in the middle. but they like the response. They win that quarter. They outscored St Kilda 3-2 to win the third term that went for 31 minutes and 27 seconds on the clock for Robot Building Supplies. Robot's got it. A quarter to go. This is the first game of the AAMI Community Series on AFL Nation for McDonald's Smooth Barista-made coffee from McCafe. It's available 24/7.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for Tyre Power. Kicking goals with 25% off on Toyo tyres.
Want to win free coffee for an entire year? That's a lot of lattes. Just order a McCafe coffee on the My Macca's app for your chance to win. There are 25 winners every day. But hurry, limited time only. Ends 23/03/21. Visit mcdonalds.com.au/coffeecomp for full terms.
Tyre Power have topped the customer satisfaction table again. That's right, Tyre Power received the coveted CanStar Blue Most Satisfied Customer Award for the second year running, making them winners 6 out of the last 7 years. We're proud and thankful to know that you voted for Tyre Power to receive 5-star reviews in every category of customer satisfaction. So when you need new tyres, go to the undisputed leaders in the field, Tyre Power. Visit your local owner-operator or find us at tyrepower.com.au.
It's been a long time away. Now we're back here to stay. Back where we belong. Country racing strong.
Country racing has stayed strong. We now welcome the return of crowds to the races. It's time to show your support to local communities and race clubs.
It's got it all.
Book now at country.racing.com.
Our pets can do no wrong, even when they're doing wrong.
5, 4, 3, 2, and you're still here. Which is why brands like these choose radio. You see, every impression you pay for makes an impression. There's no countdown, blocker, fast forward or skip button. Your message is guaranteed to get through. And right now, with so many people tuning in to feel more connected, it's the right time to connect with your customers. For cut-through that gets results, visit radiolive.com.au.
John wakes up every morning at 6:45. Reaching for his glasses, he knocks his lamp off the bedside table. Next, he spills his glass of water and attempts to put his cat on instead of his slippers. If only John phoned New Vision Clinics. Having performed over 30,000 procedures, Professor Alpins helps people like John wake up seeing clearly without having to fumble around for their glasses. To find out more or to book an obligation-free consultation, call 1-800-20-2020. That's 1-800-20-2020.
Hello. Frank Walker from National Tiles. National Tiles have slashed the price on DIY Kimberley hybrid flooring to an unbelievable $29.95 every day of the year. That's right, DIY lay and click Kimberley hybrid flooring slashed to $29.95 every day of the year. Go online now at nationaltiles.com.au and save on Kimberley hybrid DIY lay and click flooring. It's child's play. National Tiles. Now you can.
Make your garden spectacular with Toro. Each week you could win a leaf blower, string trimmer, chainsaw or hedge trimmer from Toro's new 60-volt battery range. Or the major prize, a Toro 60-volt mower. For your chance to win or for details, visit iCanWin.com.au.
We've been waiting for it. The return of the game we love. AFL footy. As sports fans, our rite of passage is to cheer as loud as we can for our team. And this season is about going the extra mile. It's time to... For a full cinema-style experience, have your TV wall-mounted with Hang My TV. In line with all health practices, installs are available. Call 1300 Hang My TV or book online.
Hang My TV, that's what we do.
The all-new Canon dual cab ute is on display at SEN and GWM Havel, featuring 8-speed auto diesel motor, alloy wheels and a 9-inch touchscreen with Apple CarPlay. All from just $33,990 drive away, including a 7-year GWM warranty and 5 years capped servicing. There's easy finance and don't forget the instant asset write-off is available. T's and C's apply. SEN and GWM Havel, 600 Mount Alexander Road. Call 90 80 11 11. LMCT 10092.
You're listening to AFL Nation for McDonald's. Smooth barista-made coffee from McCafe. Available 24/7.
Right to the top of the square. McKernan got a fist on it. Max King, nice take. Max King, even better finish. Left foot snap from 15 out directly in front.
The 202-centimetre key forward, if you don't mind. Picks it up off the shoelaces. Non-preferred football getting tackled.
full run. Oh, now King was coming out on the lead, coming back the other way. Memory, 2 Carlton players down. I think it's Wiedering and Jones. Little snap Higgins, vacant goal square. Loney dropped the mark, had plenty of time to recover and put it through. Here's where Sard's at his best to tuck the ball under the arm. He'll easily be able to take on Jack Higgins. He runs to 50 and he endears himself to the Carlton faithful, showing exactly why the Blues were so keen to get him. Adam Sard, the long bomb from outside 50 in a quarter that Carlton were able to outscore St Kilda for the first time tonight. It was a 3-2 third term. The scoring has slowed noticeably as we turn for home. There was 13 first quarter goals, 9 second quarter and 5 third quarter goals. This is the opening game of the AAMI Community Series on AFL Nation for McDonald's Smooth Barista Made Coffee from the McCafe, available 24/7. Sam Hargraves, Nick Del Santo.
The game has definitely slowed down, and we're still probably trying to get a feel about the tempo and the new rule changes and how it impacts the players throughout the game. The disposal efficiency is still through the roof. The Saints are at 79%. This is for the whole game. The Blues are at 73%. 18-point margin. Important for both teams to finish off really strongly. Have the weekend off next week and then load up for round 1.
So, set to go. Last term. Paul Hunter continuing in the ruck. It's been a good story for the Saints. Invited to train for 2 weeks and has won himself a 1-year deal. That's very good connection through the middle for St Kilda as Bytel. We spoke about him earlier, getting his first feel of this game, injected into it for the last quarter. Left half forward. Now here's Sinclair, who's put some water in that mullet. It looks very shiny. Don't worry about the mullet, worry about that kick. Beautiful lace out. King took the mark on the left point of the goal square. And he'll go back to open up the Saints scoring in this last quarter.
So Bytel and McKenzie have come on for the Saints for their first run to start this last quarter.
He's just involved there, Daniel McKenzie. So King had a brilliant gather and left foot snap in the last quarter. Now the set shot, 15 metres out directly in front. He makes no mistake. And the Saints have got 16 on the board, and that lead now back out to 24 points inside the first minute of this last term for Robot Building Supplies. Robot's got it. They've moved it confidently through the middle. All game, the Saints. Major goal scorers, Loney has 4. Fisher has kicked 2-3 for the Blues. Silvani's got a couple. Williams got a couple. Membry and King have 2 each for the Saints. Pitnet, McDonald have 2 for the Blues. 1 apiece. Higgins, Butler, Battle, Murphy, Gresham, Ross, Hill, Hunter and Sard.
They move the ball with little fear, don't they, the Saints?
Yep.
I mean, you can use the words, they're aggressive, they're really proactive through the middle of the ground. They have the confidence that someone will be there running shotgun with them if they are in trouble and need to give it off. But if not, they run forward and they put it out into space, allow the likes of a Max King or this small forward line to run onto the ball.
So in the middle again, Pitnet got first hand to that. Dow was harassed out of it by Steele, who slipped at the crucial time. That is a brilliant sidestep from Bytel, who's had a couple of bites at it already. That kick, though, couldn't find the target in King. Sard was able to gather. The Blues have got numbers in the middle. Ed Curnow got it from Pitnet. They spread to the far side with Setterfield, who was busy in the first half with 14 disposals, has cooled off a little since. That's a brilliant kick to Cripps, who just got out the back on Ross, I should say. Right half forward. Carlton co-captain will put the Blues inside forward 50. Fisher had to fly for the mark in the end on Steele. Ball ricochets out of the pack. Battle took on Oscar McDonald and just got boot to ball. It tumbles into the centre. Higgins clean gather. Butler was just too strong for Plowman. He's off now with the bounces. Dan Butler. Look at the main flowing behind him. Here's McKenzie. If it'll sit up for him, he can gather and go. No. Had to bend down a long way to pick it up, and he's brilliantly tackled. Should have been rewarded with Setterfield. Butler off the ground. Left forward pocket. It's picked up by Dockett, who's given it straight to Bytel outside forward 50. On the bounce, couldn't gather Cunningham. Steele flies in. Didn't have any options inside, so he feeds it back into the middle to Long by hand, and he's got underneath that, hit the belly of the ball. It's a long time in the air. Higgins just pushes Sard out of the way. Couldn't take the mark. Sard kept his feet, spins out of trouble and gets it to Ed Curnow. And the veteran can steady up and find Zach Fisher at left half back. Giving it straight to a guy with the same haircut. Fisher to Sinclair.
It's almost like they're wearing a scarf and it's just blowing out the back, isn't it, on the convertible? Just flapping out the back.
Right forward pocket. Geez, Billings almost took the mark with Doherty and Sard bearing down on him. Punched out of play and we'll have it thrown in. About 20 metres around from the right point post inside Saints Ford 50. 24-point lead. They're kicking to your right radio speaker. AFL Nation, McCafe Barista Made Coffee. Hitting it easy, the front spot on King. Doherty just thumps it out of defensive 50. Sinclair had to stand underneath it and was dealt with by Murphy. Moore came through, got it to Dow, and now Plowman can have a bounce through the middle. Has to think his way through this. Dougal Howard brilliantly to run down his opposite number. Sprays off the outside of the right boot. It'll actually come off all right. No free kick. Advantage is played. It'll be a Carlton ball. Ed Curnow, all little bobble from Tom Williamson. He runs into a brick wall. Butler and Steele. It was like a rugby league hit up. And the front row said, "Nana, you're not putting a nose through here." It'll be a Saints ball. That's a big opportunity. Wasted from the Blues. Howard, no one manned the mark. Oh, no, he's just broken the ankles of Patrick Cripps. Not literally, just metaphorically. Left forward pocket. No mark taken. Oh, Higgins! Buried by Jones. That was ferocious. It'll be thrown up in the left forward pocket.
Great hit.
It was like a rock bottom if you're a wrestling fan. McKenzie hemmed in on the boundary. Puts this right to the top of the square. Double fister from Jones kills that contest. We'll have it thrown in right next to the left point post. Geez, I want to see a replay of that Jones tackle.
And just
Higgins.
on behalf of all Carlton supporters, you can't use the terminology Cripps has broken his ankles.
He
That
hasn't
is
literally
just
broken his ankles. But he was sent the wrong way.
Yes.
Doherty under a fair bit of pressure. Just has to go down the line. Cripps again with bodies falling on top of him. McKenzie went back with the flight. Got an important fist on that. Throwing it left half forward for the Saints. 12-8-80 the Blues. 16-8-104 the Saints. Robot Building Supplies. Robot's got it scoreboard. Hit net, slapped it down in front. Steele lost his footing. Jack Martin, haven't said his name a lot. Walking the tightrope. Just fell to the wrong side of it. We'll have it thrown in again.
Jack Martin's had 7 disposals, going at 71%. He's had 1 tackle as well. So a relatively quiet night for a man that we know can turn it on like few others.
No, they were pretty happy with his year, weren't they, last year?
Yeah.
He finished 6th in their best and fairest. High-priced recruit from Gold Coast. Setterfield, again, the overlap run from him. Cripps and Howard. Cripps kept his feet. Fed it to a running Dow. Inside forward 50 now. Moore might give away a free kick on long here. Crummers are all Saints. Fisher doing well to harass. Caulfield's got time to measure the kick and just dropped it into the lap of Long. About 35 metres out from his defensive goal, and they'll slow it down. Collaborates with Fisher, who provided the run. Got hit nicely after he got rid of it, but beautifully onto the chest of Ross on the far wing. That kick a bit short for Membry, who has to take it on the bounce. Tried to sell the candy on Doherty, who wasn't really buying what he was selling, so he's got to get on the bike now, Membry. Inside forward 50. Jones came out and didn't take the mark. It'll spill to Loney, who's got 4 goals. Little underground handball to Billings. Sard takes him and the footy out of bounds in the left forward pocket. We'll have it thrown in 10 metres around from the Saints left point post.
Saved a goal, that tackle there from Adam Sard. Got Billings out of bounds. Saints, once again, like they have a lot of tonight, had a spare man in the goal square.
So thrown in. Lands right in front, 25 metres out of the Saints goal. Ed Curnow somehow extricated the ball. He was able to get on his boot. But Ross hemmed in, puts it to the top of the square. Jones with courage, back with the flight. He's taken, I reckon, about 5 or 6 intercept grabs tonight. I'm plucking that number off the top of my head, but I don't know if I'd be far wrong, Del. Of course, Jacob Wiedering, that injury scare in the third quarter, as Moore drops the mark, but the ball somehow stayed in. So he sent Hill the wrong way, showed it to him, and then ran his full measure. The check side, a little bit errant. Webster takes the mark. They've got options in the middle now. McKenzie's had a fair bit of it since coming on for this last quarter. Membry, 60 from home, takes it on the bounce with his back to goal. Sard bearing down. Ross, little double-handed drop into the path of Loney, who turned quickly and had an option just the required inside. 48 metres out, 4 metres in from the boundary. Left forward pocket is Billings.
Just looking at Liam Jones's number, he's had 5 marks in total. So I'll give you 4 of those that have been intercept marks. That was his best one, going back with the flight of it, top of the goal square.
So Billings fancies himself from here. The Carlton fans don't. And this is just going to go to the top of the square. Getting underneath that ball, almost taking the mark, was Sean McKernan. Had it authoritatively fisted away from him. 49 metres out, it goes right back in the direction it came. Ross got underneath that, and Martin was able to fly third man up and take the grab. So 4 goals Loney, 3 goals King. The leading goal scorers for the Saints. For the Blues, doubles for Fisher, Silvani, Williams, Pitnet, McDonald. And now they're out in the near wing. Murphy has Hill bearing down on him. Beautiful kick on the 45 angle to Cunningham. Bottom left point of the square. Player running back into the goal square is Ed Curnow. Sinclair did well to get a fist on it. Ball in dispute right at the goal mouth. Got to be clean, Caulfield. The handball wasn't to McKenzie. Fisher's pressure's been elite all game. Cavalry arrives in Cripps, who buries ahead, wins the footy quickly. Setterfield, Fisher, left foot snap, vacant goal square, needs a kind bounce, doesn't get it. Howard almost ran under the ball that bounced up. He's able to gather and give to Hill. Just short to Ross. Laterally now to Sinclair. Still 40 from his own goal. And they go backwards again to Caulfield. Left half back. The switch is on with Wilkie. Neat kick inboard to Hill. Top left point of the square. Hunter Clark can go. Oh, he ran into the man he was trying to balk. Luckily, the fend-off was effective. He goes back to Long. Caulfield with some dash off half-back. That's more direct, which we've seen for the whole night from St Kilda. Membry couldn't take the mark and didn't get it on the gather on the second bite. Was that in the back of Sinclair from Silvani? Umpire said no. Sard's handball didn't find the target, but his toe poke did. The give and go was great to get it back to Sard. Inboard Fogarty. The former Cats got Murphy slipping over. Crucial time was Dougal Howard, and Murphy can take a bounce, run on in. Knew he was going to get hit, but he made sure of it. He put it through, and Mark Murphy gets his second. 13-8-86 the Blues. St Kilda 16-8-104. Sard instrumental through the middle there, Dal.
I just love game awareness at times, and I understand it's a pre-season game. The boys are extremely fatigued from both sides as a couple of the Saints are walking to the boundary line to have an interchange. Sard tapped that out in front deliberately, didn't take possession as he knew he was going to get tackled and therefore wouldn't have got the ball. Taps it forward, keeps his feet, shimmies around a player and receives the handball. Without that, the ball doesn't go forward to Murphy at all. Exceptional play.
Well, the dash of Sard was prominent there, and this is off the text. I hope the reduction in interchanges will scale back the predominance of sprinters in the game and enable marathoners to become more valuable due to their stamina and endurance keeping their skills. Is that Kane Corns on a burner phone?
Yes. Anyone that runs 15 kilometres or more in a game is happy with that text message. Geez, he was a shocker to play against Kane Corns.
0433 98 11 16. What made him so annoying, Dal?
He would stop you from getting the football, and then on the flip side,
that's quite annoying.
Then you couldn't keep up with him when he was going to get the football. He was tagging you, and he'd walk away with 35.
Blues win it back at halfback. Jack Martin almost the fumble, regains composure and the pill. Walsh, little spinning handball found Murphy. His little cute kick got to O'Brien. On the bounce, didn't have enough loft for Cripps, and now the ball's in dispute. Left forward pocket for the Blues. Which is a 3-on-3 contest here, falling on top of it. Umpire's got the whistle away, which we like. Fogarty somehow emerges with it and wobbles a half-mung punt right to the top of the square. Setterfield trying to get rid of McKenzie. McKenzie's up for the fight. Setterfield gathered, and he's gathered by McKenzie. Wraps him up in a strong tackle. Umpire's call is... I'll have it. And just a little bit of appreciation from the crowd. Well done, Setters. And there's a free kick going the way of St Kilda. It's against Pitney in the ruck for shepherding him out. Advantage paid. Higgins at left half back. You've liked what he's brought to the table for the Saints.
I do. Been impressed. He's had a fair bit of the footy as well. He's up to 19 disposals. He's just kicked that one goal. Missed one from about half a metre away. As that ball's turned over at centre half back.
Fogarty comes up with it. Murphy, great little shake, and also to the bait. Oh, Fogarty didn't have the same dance steps as Murphy, and he's coughed it up. So through the middle, there's Hunter, the big rap. Oh, Long didn't know that Martin was there. Ran him down brilliantly. And he even got the pat on the back, did Jack Martin from Ben Long, to say too good. Straight to Plowman. That's a penetrating kick to 25 metres out. Silvani one puck.
Oh, well done, Jack Martin. Hasn't been his best night by any stretch, but just small moments like that, prepared to work back really hard, chases down Long. Silvani had the opportunity to kick his third. 18-point margin, plenty of time, 9 minutes to go. Jack Martin coming in for his third.
So Silvani's kicked 2 in this game. He's now got 3. And I reckon the Blues faithful just give it a little bit more from the belly when the Silvani name does something good.
And of course the cameras flick straight to his parents, Joe and Big Saucer. And once again, Sauce not clapping, not smiling. Joe's just giving him a little clap, saying you are allowed to show some emotion for your son. You are allowed to pretend like you love him.
I think they know that the moment he kicks one,
Yes.
it goes to them, and they just possum. They just freeze.
That's a beautiful grab from Silvani. That is just such a great grab.
Had a couple to beat in the air as well.
Yeah, one grab, sitting 3 deep over Dougal Howe. It's a great grab.
So they've kicked 5 goals to 3 in this second half, the Blues. So 104 to 92. Robot Building Supplies. Robot's got it. AAMI Community Series and AFL Nation. The smooth barista-made coffee from the cafe. Available 24/7, and they'll wind up again out of the middle. This time Ed Curnow. Low ball just inside forward 50. I reckon that's a mark that's going to be paid to young Tom Highmore.
Mason Wood has just come on for the Saints.
You had me worried there. I thought that was Highmore, and you had me thinking it was Mason Wood.
No, he's just passed it to Mason Wood. He gets his first touch. Just come on the ground, straight to centre wing.
Wearing number 32 for the Saints. Oh, that's out of bounds on the full. Did he kick 4 goals in a scratch match for the Saints the other day?
He did. That is correct.
There was early reports that it was 6, I think.
He would have told you that, I reckon.
No.
Is that right?
No. Just a little bit of excitement that came through, but we confirmed it was 4. Cripps couldn't take the mark on the far wing.
What do you make of Cripps playing, I think, nearly the whole game as a key forward?
It's interesting, isn't it? Because he's
a trial.
Dougal Howard has had the matchup, so he's taking their best defender.
Yep. Well, that's one of the benefits of bringing in Zach Williams. It actually gives you more options in the midfield. If Cripps isn't there, it doesn't fall away completely.
There's a midfielder that was taller than Wayne Carey. It makes the greatest centre-half forward ever play. So, Saints win it back.
It is staggering when you actually stand next to Patrick Cripps, how big he is, both height but also physically. He's a big man.
As a smaller statured man, I've got no interest in ever standing next to Paddy. And with a real doughy physique that I've got, there's just nothing about the way that he's put together that I want anywhere near me.
One of his biceps.
Yes.
Just one of them.
No, but that's solid. Left forward pocket. Ross latches onto a loose ball. Did the team thing to put it to the top of the square. Williamson's got to be clean here. He got it to Sard. Oh, Butler bearing down. Got to be quick, Sard. He is. Just got a quick kick away. Silvani, good grab. He's having the better in this matchup with Rookie. Left half back. There's options inside. It's Fisher. He points to the mark and he takes off, and I don't know whether play on was called there technically. He fans it out to the near side wing. O'Brien, that's a good kick. Cunningham takes it and takes off. He turned on a sixpence on Hunter Clark, and the crowd will tell you that he's put it through on the run from 35 on a 45. Coast to coast stuff from the Blues.
And clearly running out this game better. Oh, Dan Butler coming from the ground, who was the one that chased Sard. The way way that they're waving, you're thinking that's just cramp. It appears like it's just cramp, so that's a good sign.
It's very stiff.
Yeah, looks like it's just cramping in the calves. But what a lovely finish. Come back to the other end of the ground. The margin 6 points. 16-8, 104 the Saints. The Blues 15-8, 98 and coming home strong.
So it's a 6-goal-to-3 second half from the Blues. So wet sail indeed. 19 minutes played. Robot Building Supplies. Robot's got its scoreboard.
Cripps in the middle. Cripps is at the centre square bounce.
Yep. I reckon that's more that's gone into the ruck for the Blues. Free kick going against Carlton. We go to Jack Steele, just backward to the centre circle.
Still plenty of time. 6.5 to play.
Runs very close to Patrick Cripps. He pumps it inside, forward 50. Doherty going back with the fly, and he got Higgins high. Going to be pinged for it. Loney took the advantage. There wasn't really any. Check side standing start from McKernan. Membry just got rid of Plowman. I reckon he took the mark. Doesn't matter. Plays on. Quick snap from the top of the square. Saints respond. We'll be back to 12 points now. Membry gets his third.
Well, it was good play by Jack Higgins. Exactly where he should be, at the feet of the Togs. There wasn't a lot in that advantage taken. I don't think the Saints really wanted to take it. Got out of it, fortunately.
And, the banter's coming already. We're only in the AAMI Community Series on AFL Nation for McDonald's. A smooth barista-made coffee from your cafe available 24/7, Del. That's how desperate Carlton fans are. They carry on over a practice match.
You know what? You got to take whatever you can get at times.
Yep.
And you've got to learn to win as well. There is definitely something in that. So get excited. Football's back. Everybody should be excited anyway.
So the men's pre-season officially underway tonight. Men's footy is back this year. AFLW's been rolling on and it's been a fantastic season so far. So we're sport for footy choice, that's for sure. The Steele's able to mop up across half-back. On the bounce, nice gather from Mason Wood. Can he find Higgins? Yes, he does, under close attention from Saad. Higgins just up and gone. Scampers off and sends him inside forward 50. Membry got up. A free kick's been called. It's going to Membry. I reckon it was McKernan that tunnelled him out of it.
I'll have to have a look at it again. It's a free kick to St Kilda. It's going to go to McKernan. I believe it is against Doherty. I'll have to have a look at the replay screen because it wasn't obvious.
So McKernan, one of the few Saints.
It's against Liam Jones on McKernan. Wasn't a great deal in it, but probably to the letter of the law.
So just checking the scores to see if McKernan has one next to his name, Del. You might be able to help me out with this. Former Crow, former Bomber. A new lease on life at a new club. To the right-hand side, one behind.
He is yet to kick a goal.
So the other thing we're seeing now too is the inaccuracy starting to creep in. The first quarter was 8-1 to 5-1. At halftime it was 13-5 to 9-2. And now up to 15-8, 98 the Blues, 17-9, 111. Still take that any day of the week. But again, turnover coming out of half-back from Carlton. Quickly sent to the top of the square. Petrevski-Seaton desperate. Flew back hard to make it a 2-on-1 against Membry. Just got the 5 knuckles on it. Through for a rush behind. 17-9, 111, St Kilda. 15-8, 98 for Robot Building Supplies. Robot's got it. Sean McKernan, one of the fresh faces for St Kilda. Rolled fast, fresh for Vietnamese. Here's the overlap run. Zach Williams has 2 goals. Runs to 50. Will this be 3? He tries to trickle it through on the bounce. No good. To the right-hand side, but just showing the run and dash that he made his name with at the Giants. Storming through the middle of Marvel, Dell.
Well, a rule that will be exploited, and I say that politely, not in a bad way, but when you're given an extra 15 metres where the man on the mark is ultimately 25 metres from the goal line, you may as well get your biggest kick, because every kick you can do can get you into your forward half every single time. It's not about precision out of the full back line anymore. You just saw Sam Doherty three-quarter a kick, and it's 80 metres away from the Saints' goal if it is turned over.
Saints come along the boundary on the near side. Big Paul Hunter flew. He couldn't take the mark. Mason Wood leaves it for Hunter, who's taken over the line, ball in hand by Oscar McDonald, who's really putting his hand up to win that contract with the Blues.
I think he's been good. Just looking at some of the key ball winners for tonight for the Saints. Jack Steele's had 27. Jack Sinclair's had 26. Seb Ross has had 24. Brad Hill's had 24. And for the Blues, Doherty 26, Walsh 25, and Zach Fisher 23.
Walsh rises up, take a ball that he couldn't in the end. It spills to Sinclair at the front of the pack. He's able to quickly slam it on the left slipper. It goes over the back of the McKernan-Jones contest. Big punch from Doherty. They exit defensive 50 momentarily as McKenzie wins the ball. Dances around a couple of potential tacklers. Ross gathers at the arc of the 50. Loops it over the top. Sinclair can steady. Sinclair can fire. And Sinclair can probably put this one to bed for the Saints. Mullet bouncing out the back of the bonds as he stabs it through. Spent time back mid-forward. And doing a bit of everything tonight, Jack Sinclair, Dale.
Yeah, I must say, he's probably surprised me a little bit. He's up to 27 disposals.
One goal now.
One goal. But his ability to play multiple positions. We know him probably traditionally as a small forward and probably another one of the Saints' small forwards. We've seen him on the wing the last couple of years. Now going to the half-back line. Uses the ball well. Doesn't try to do anything too fancy. You know, I think he knows his limitations. A man that swims between the flags, but I like the versatility that he's given them.
When you go through this Saints side, you've got Sinclair coming up to 100 games. He's played 98.
Yes.
You work your way through. Webster's on 93 games. Gresham on 92. Crouch 95. He's their new recruit. Hunter Clark 47. Jack Steele's 97 games. Jack Loney 76. All these guys seem to just be in about that window where they could really come into their own.
Well, the Saints, they're the second oldest team in the competition and the third most experienced.
That's very nice work again from Cunningham to be able to step through traffic with pace, but the kick was just to the right-hand side of where Patrick Cripps wanted it to be. And Wilkie's able to take the defensive mark deep in the left back pocket. Off he goes now. They'll exit from the far side or via the far side. Back of the pack, Oscar McDonald. Well done from Martin under heavy pressure to find Plowman, who lost the footy. McKenzie's got some dash. He just tucks it under the arm, feeds it further afield to Loney. Checks the kick. Has Higgins inside. Puts it to the top of the square. McKernan on a strong lead back at goal. He takes the mark. 10 metres out, pretty much directly in front. Should go back and get his first of the night. The Saints' 19th of the evening. Carlton on 99.
19-point margin. McKernan's had a solid night. 11 disposals, done some really good work in the ruck, competed really hard.
So, Dell, I'll let you talk through this one.
McKernan from point-blank range. 12 metres out. Straight through the middle. Saints move forward. 19 goals, 10, 124. The Blues, 15-9-99. So the Saints put up 22-8, 140 points last week as they pumped the Kangas by 91 points at Arden Street, and they've backed it up with 124 points tonight. They've probably shared the workload a little bit more, it must be said. Some really positive signs. Some injuries that both teams will have to work through.
Yeah, let's work our way through those. Wiedering, we know, with the knee.
Yes.
Frawley, a hamstring in the first quarter.
Jack Noons was ankle.
Yeah, Butler, who limped off earlier, maybe just cramped for him.
Yep. And you put that on top of the Saints have had 2 broken legs and a couple of hammies, and I think Rowan Marshall's a foot, so a handful of their best players in question. And the Blues have got a handful of, definitely in their starting 18, that are either resting tonight or still injured.
McGovern, Casbolt, Betts, Harry Mackay, we know that early ankle injury, which could be that ankle re-injured, but he rolled it in the first quarter and just precautionary, they said, no more for you. Saints have been able to get back inside forward 50 in the meantime, and Jack Higgins has taken the mark about 35 metres out directly in front.
Had 23 disposals tonight, kicked 1 goal too. Jake Higgins.
Make that 1 goal 3. Slams it into the left piece of woodwork.
It's his second poster. 1 on the right foot, 1 on the left foot.
So, Dale, we pretty much believe that the Saints are home and hosed now. We've got some commitments on the other side of this. So we thank you, Dale, for your brilliant work tonight.
Appreciate it. Lovely to be back. Hopefully this is the start of a beautiful season.
The AAMI Community Series on AFL Nation from McDonald's, a smooth barista-made coffee from McCafe, available 24/7. Saints get another behind as it's rushed through. So it'll be a 27-point margin as we bid you farewell this evening. And there's a little bit of a fracas in the right forward pocket, but some good signs for both sides to open up the AAMI Community Series on AFL Nation. And tomorrow night it'll be Collingwood and Richmond. Have a great night. We've really appreciated your company on AFL Nation from McCafe Barista Made Coffee. Sam Hargraves, Nick Del Santo. Have a great night. Stay safe. 99 to 125. The Saints will win this one. The AAMI Community Series. The pre-season's here on AFL Nation.
You're listening to AFL Nation for McDonald's. Smooth barista-made coffee.